This match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by AAMI, Cadbury, Mitre 10, Ultra Tune and Sip and Save.
We've got it all. Give it to me, Friday night football. The Crows are a really hot bet. The Bombers have got their target set. Keep it turned on, players kicking in the sky. AFL at 7, now it's party time. Come on now, don't it feel good? Wow, rockin' football party. This is Friday night fun.
There's a bit of a difference tonight. Friday night footy coming from Football Park in Adelaide. It's the Crows versus the Bombers. It might be 10 versus 5, but this is a big match. A big crowd, and the Crows look vulnerable at the moment. They've lost their last 3, and the Bombers are sailing along all right at 6-3. Jason Dunstall joins me. Jason, we sort of caught our breath last weekend. We're up and going again, aren't we?
We certainly are, and I don't think many people would have tipped the Crows to lose 4 on the trot, so they'll be very fired up tonight.
The Bombers captain and champion not playing, as we know. James Hurd joins us down on the boundary line. James, I know that Eastore's come in for Wallace. What was Kevin Sheedy's theme in the rooms tonight?
Probably, Bruce, that the Crows have done a pretty hard week this week, a lot of competitive, and we've tried to we'll try and match that in the first quarter. We know they'll come out hard, and we've got to be a little bit harder at the start of the game.
And James, the Bombers haven't had much success at Footy Park. Have you changed your routine to try and alter or break that hoodoo?
Yeah, we have a bit. We haven't won here since '92, Jason, and we've tried to come over on the day of the game. Previously, we've come over the night before, but hopefully this will work for us. And as the boys come out, you know, we're looking for a big win.
Good on you, mate. Good. We'll talk to you after half-time.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, James Hurd. We see the Bombers here. Time to have a look at the stats. Check these out. The Crows, it doesn't look good, does it?
No, they're terrible statistics. Basically last in all categories bar handballs and then third last in that. And in particular, looking at the percentage, that's a huge drop-off. And one thing we did question, or will question tonight, is their capacity to kick enough goals.
They've been beaten on 3 occasions by 9 goals or more this year. Robbo will join Jason in just a moment. They'll look at the marquee matchups.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season proudly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. And the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
The Crows and the Bombers, welcome, Robbo. It's a crucial one for the Crows. Well, a big game both sides, isn't it?
We've seen some terrific football on Friday night football this year, Jason. I don't think this will be any exception. Bombers are ready by the sound of what James Hurd has said, and surely Malcolm Blight has got to be at the throats of those Adelaide Crows.
He certainly will be. As we look at the marquee matchups, some key matchups tonight, Matty Robber, he needs to play well for the Crows to be a chance tonight. He can be used as a key position player at both ends. Also a proven goal kicker. They'll need the best from him if they're going to be any hope tonight. And Sean Wellman's probably the bloke likely to pick him up if he plays his centre-half forward. She hasn't been a revelation for him since he left the Crows and actually went to the Bombers.
Well, he's got to be fired up himself because he's playing against his old side. I'm looking for a big effort from players like Mark Rasciuto and his assistant Andrew McLeod, who apparently have been down a little bit. Rasciuto has to put in a big one tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the Crows match winners. Barry Young's been doing some great jobs for the Bombers. Played particularly well just before the State of Origin break against Hawthorn, and he would be a pretty likely opponent, I would think, for Rasciuto.
Fair enough. And I think with the discussions we've had before the game, we do doubt whether Adelaide can kick a winning score. On the other hand, Lloyd and Lucas on the forward line are going to be damaging players. They're the key players that we're going to look at in our strategic spotlight.
Yeah, certainly. Something that Adelaide have done with success last time, as we see here, Nigel Smart, who's playing on Scott Lucas, dragging them out of position, dragging them up the ground, really working them over. Now, they're kicking it into their forward 50. Lo and behold, look who's down and about. You've got Matthew Lloyd, who's followed up Ben Hart, and he's been taken into the opposition's 50 now. They can't do much damage to you if they're that far away from goal.
No, and we also see another look there off to the right, Matthew Lloyd and Ben Hart again. this at the other end of the ground where they'd be 150 metres away from their set positions.
They would, and I can vouch for the fact that forwards hate nothing more than chasing a backman all the way up the ground. And look at that, a return of 1 goal each last time they met. Lloyd and Lucas would be certainly hoping to improve quite markedly on that if they're going to be a chance. It all augurs well for one big match tonight, Bruce.
Going to be a beauty, I think, Jason. Let's see how Lloyd and Lucas do. It's time now to stat me up.
Good to play Friday night football at Football Park against Essendon and hopefully have a good win.
What a great career he's already had, but he needs a big game tonight. He's taken 42 marks so far this season. We're going to take a short break from Footy Park. We'll be back with the opening bounce of what should be a great game on Friday Night Football.
Tonight's weather update brought to you by...
Thanks, Mum.
Good evening. Rain over the state tonight should ease to scattered showers about southern coast and ranges tomorrow, with possible thunderstorms in the south, and a strong wind warning continues for all South Australian coasts, with seas 1 to 2 metres on local waters. In the city, tonight's rain should ease to a shower or two tomorrow, but will be wetter about the hills and southern suburbs. 13 tonight, 17 tomorrow, 17 Sunday with a shower or two, finding up after a morning shower on Monday. Good night.
What happened to Brendan's party?
Brennan's dad, where is everyone?
Out or in bed?
Smells good, what is it?
Teriyaki stir fry.
I forgot these.
Thank goodness you're here. Sam?
Done. Hey, Mum, I can do this.
That's good. There's another packet in the freezer.
Create a teriyaki stir-fry in 15 minutes.
Thanks, Mum.
McDonald's McMatch and Win Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you can win big prizes instantly. Like $50,000 cash from Aussie Home Loans and Samsung Home Entertainment Systems. McMatch and Win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
Buy a Chrysler Voyager before June 30 and you'll not only get a powerful V6 engine and car-like handling and safety, but you and your family will fly Qantas to Movie World on the Gold Coast, spending 3 nights at the SeaWorld Nara Resort. But hurry, offer ends June 30.
You can get it dipping. You can get it chipping. You can get it having a row. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter. You can get it lumping. You can get it thumping. You can get it any old how.
Matter of fact, I got it now.
Victoria Bitter.
This feature presentation from 7 Sport continues our 43-year association with the AFL.
Big crowd, as you'd expect. Just about full at the moment. A couple of empty seats, but close to 40,000 people. As we welcome you once again to Friday Night Football. John Russo joins us. John, always great to have you here.
Thanks, Bruce. And I'm tipping the Bombers, although I've got a bit of a feeling that the Crows won't make it 4 losses in a row.
Well, you're sitting on the fence, so to speak. Neil Curley and Dipper are down there on the boundary line. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Bruce. Fellas, look for some interesting starts in the Crows lineup tonight, and I believe Essendon, apart from the herd, pretty close to full strength.
They are, and they're expected to win, as we heard James Hurd before. They have a terrific pre-match, and everyone's expecting Essendon to win out here.
And I think Jason hit it on the head. Expect a very torrid first opening.
And we might get some rain early in the game, so expect a very wet game as well.
And quite a strong wind to the right of screen.
Smart's gone to full forward, Curls. I think that's what you might have been talking about. And Robbins in defence.
What about the 6 players all together in the centre there? Ruckman alone for the Adelaide side on his defensive side of the circle.
Alessio in his 100th game, and Pittman easily won the first. So a breeze going here, going to the right of screen. The Crows have got it early. They'll want to start here. They have struggled since their big win over Port Adelaide in round 6. And the last couple of occasions these two clubs have played, they've played epic matches. Mark Harvey's last game in Melbourne in 1997. There's the interchange for the Crows. We might check with Curls in a moment. And also here last year when it was a kick in it again. Here's Hardwick back to Pryor, who injured himself badly here last year. Had a knee reconstruction after this game. It was good play by Mercury, tapping down to Mercedes, who was held up. Handball by Edwards was cut off by Alessio. Edwards and Alessio together. Handball out by Rashudo, didn't go far. Onto it, Shane Allen back for his first game. In fact, his first game since he played in that premiership team in 1998, and it'll be a ball up.
Bruce, interchange for Adelaide. 2. Atkinson, Stevens, Tyson, Golding.
Any drama there about a free kick against Allen for not getting rid of the ball, John?
I didn't think he had a prior opportunity, Robbo, but some would think that he did.
The kick forward for Adelaide goes up to their full forward line. Grabbed here by Smart. Smart over his left shoulder registers the first score of the game. Well, we got some good tips before the match. Graham Corns came into the box and told us that Nigel Smart would play at full forward and Matthew Robran would probably go back. And we've already seen Smart lively there, Jason.
Yeah, he's been used up forward quite a few times in the past, and he is very dangerous around goal. I remember a big final against Hawthorn where he turned the game by kicking 3 goals, so look for him to get a few on the scoreboard tonight.
Fletcher goes straight down the ground. Not a bad kick. Up high there was Johnson. Brett Burton it was. Mercedes for Essendon from half-back. Kicks the ball towards half-forward. Lucas couldn't take the mark. Swooping onto the football there is Gallagher. Ball spills out to Mercury. Mercury across his left shoulder. Gets the ball inside the forward 50. That's a mark, isn't it? Lloyd's been paid it. The Crows fans not happy. There's a lot of them here at Football Park tonight, as we've become accustomed to, of course, and booing that decision. What did you think, Johnny?
Oh, look, there's no doubt that Matthew Lloyd punches the ball up, and then having punched it up, takes the second grab. It's a clear mark.
Well, a lot of discussion about Matthew Lloyd and his capabilities. Just a young man, 21 years of age. Approaching 70 games, so he's got plenty of footy left in front of him. Lovely long left foot kick to the goal line. Doesn't register a score. It's helped over in the finish by Robran for a rush behind to the Bombers.
Robbo will get the Essendon bench. Mark McVeigh, Ben Doolan, Blake Carousella and Simon Eastall.
Thanks, Tipper. Ben Hart. Gee, what a duel this is going to be, Jason. Hart and Lloyd.
He's got a big job to do, Hart. I mean, Lloyd, he's looked dangerous early. If he gets on top of them, they won't have a chance, the Crows.
Hart, piercing kick into the centre square. Pittman, good effort. Second grab, not paid. Okay, thought he had a fair bit of it. Taken by the Bombers. Blumfield, Masiti, a probing kick. Lloyd, the target. Hart went hard and high with him. No free kick. Gallagher running towards the line. With him is Buick. Boundary throw in. Well, Pittman had a fair share, didn't he?
He did, Bruce. I think he was very unlucky not to be rewarded with the mark there.
Bomber bench. Dipper's already given us those. So Pittman and Alessio. Alessio over him at the back. Kane Johnson and also Rioli. And again, a boundary throw in.
Bruce, you'd like to think that Essendon would be very, very happy to hold the Crows to 2 or 3 goals this quarter.
It's worth that much, Neil?
I think so. It's quite a strong breeze.
Pittman. Alessio. Alessio got a touch. Mercedes and Rioli in there. Also Burton and James. And again, a ball up.
I think Rioli's copped one right in the face there from his teammate when they both went to the ball. He's just holding his face off to the side.
Coming off too, I think, for the blood rule, Jason.
Well, it might have been the bump from the Adelaide player.
Burton coming into him, Brett Burton. So Dean Rioli, who's one of 3 players out there tonight who started the season on the rookie list. This and moved by the AFL has been a good one, hasn't it, to be enable players off the rookie list with long-term injuries to come into the game, and we've got a couple for Adelaide and one for the Bombers.
And Blake Carousel will replace him.
Just, Bruce, in relation to that contact, there's no problem with that because the contact was, in fact, to the chest, but then the head bounced down and it was sort of a case of the head buckling rather than the contact being to the face, so certainly no need for a free kick.
And Bruce, also interesting down here in the Crows forward line, we have, of course, Smart, you've already called, at full forward, Bond in the pocket, Vardy on one flank, and McLeod on the other. A pretty dangerous, talented group down there.
A lot of those have impacted in finals, haven't they, and made a difference. Young Howard playing his first game is in the forward pocket too, so he's in elite company. James, a strong tackle on him from Alessio, and also Buick, and again it'll be a bounce. So the Crows with the breeze in defence at the moment. Mark Nash, Stephen Hanley and Shane McInerney. 14, 18 and 30 are our umpires tonight. Moorcroft, he's on his wrong side, hooks, but hooks badly, misses the lot, and it'll be a Crow kick-in. So, rather slow opening here. We expected an explosive start. Costa to bring it back in.
Disappointing kick there from Gary Moorcroft, I thought. Had a little bit of time maybe to hook the ball to the front of the square. The kick in towards half-back, nearly taken there by Carosella. Working very hard across the half-back line, the Crows. Rashudo was in the action there. Shane Allen with Scott Lucas, and the umpire will bounce.
And I will say this, Robbo, it might be a slow start on the scoreboard, but it's pretty willing amongst the players. They are all trying to exert a physical presence very early on in this match.
Just a point to each side. Early stages of the game. Michael Long trying to just swoop on the football. James to Goodwin. Goodwin's left foot kick. Bit of an up and under. McLeod. Well, he's pushed out of the contest basically there by Hardwick. All fair and above board according to the umpire. The kick to half forward, nearly taken by Mercury. Gathered here by Costa. Costa off the left foot. Kicks the Crows into attack towards half forward. Wellman. Now Pryor for Essendon. Pryor's kick is along the line. Lucas a little despondent. The umpire out there. The fans thought it was out on the full, but the umpire, the boundary umpire that is, has decided that it should be thrown in. Very good contest here, setting it up between Alessio and Pittman. This is Lucas. Lucas's kick towards full forward, punched away from Lloyd to the base of the pack. Gallagher's quick kick goes out towards the wing. The race is on now. The bounce certainly favoured Barnard. He was able to straighten up and then kick very efficiently to half forward. Blumfield running inside his forward 50, kicks terribly. Justin Blumfield just scraped in there for a behind.
Yeah, that was a poor kick. A good shepherd was applied by Barry Young, which enabled him to basically run in unharassed, and he had a set shot from third. I mean, there is a bit of a breeze out there, but he did miss by a long way. Probably the Bombers would have been looking to make more from that.
Now Hart went long to Pittman the last time, and he's going again. He's going to be outnumbered here. A couple of big flies. Blumfield from the side. Costa getting a bit of it early. Hurried kick around the corner to centre wing. Eluded Barney, beat Herbert. Barnard. Well, young Howard went the wrong way then, and Barnard able to get a kick unopposed. Taken by Blumfield, getting a bit of it to Young, who's probably enjoying as good a season as he's ever played. Great kick to Mercedes, can use Long. Long can kick a goal. He's 48 metres out, winds himself up and drills it home. It's a goal.
When the world is the target and the threat is real,
GoldenEye exists.
you can still depend on one man.
Bond. James Bond. Shaken, but not disturbed.
This time, 007 is facing the ultimate enemy. The man who knows him best. 006.
I was always better.
Get a bang out of Bond. Pierce Brosnan.
Beg your pardon? Forgot to knock.
GoldenEye, Sunday on 7.
Michael Long, the goal kicker, but Paul Barnard has been rebounding on 2 occasions from the half-back line, finishing with a goal to the Bombers. Mercedes working desperately at the bottom of the pack. Kim Costa crashes to the ground with the football. The umpire will bounce. It's just forward of the centre circle. Mentioned about Alessio and Pittman. Pittman has been a terrific tap ruckman. He gets his left hand to this and knocks it forward. And lobs the ball at half forward. Kicked away by Wellman. Very good to get it onto his boot so quickly. Long provides a contest. Moorcroft to Buick. Buick trying to get back onto his favoured right side. Succeeds in doing so. Kicks it out wide to the pocket. Away from Lucas. Gathered by Carosella. Took the place of Rioli. Step shot by Carosella. Is a beauty. Bombers have kicked their second goal through Blake Carosella.
Gee, that's a sensational goal. A couple of real good pieces of roving in the forward line. Moorcroft got his hands on it beautifully from close range, shot out a quick handball to Buick, just had to beat an opponent first, then drove it long. And again, you've got to be front and square to the contest. That's where everyone gets told the ball will go. And on this occasion, Carosella went there, his opponent didn't. And you get punished when you do the wrong thing at this level.
Well, if I remember correctly, he was very much a goal kicker in his junior days, Blake Carosella. He's played all over the ground for the Bombers in senior AFL footy. But he's kicked tonight Essendon's second goal. They lead by 13 points.
Pittman's got it, but Masidi again. So the Bombers with a bit of a fly here into the breeze. Well done, Edwards. Carosella, more crosswind, very clean early. High handball. Masidi back. Barry Young, who the handball probably was intended for originally. Wellman held it up beautifully to Joe. They're getting plenty of it through the midfield. Masidi, Lloyd the target. Hart work to the front. Coming across Gallagher was good. One of 5 rookies out there for the Crows. Doesn't get it far. Long. So clever. He's got players all over the place. Look at this. Carosella's on his own. He's got 2 blokes in the goal square on their own, but he'll go back and have a shot.
He was a bit stiff, young Gallagher. I mean, he took the bit between the teeth. He tried to put in a bit of a spurt to break clear, and in the end, the kick went along the ground, and unfortunately, all the Adelaide players had run to support, and there were a couple of Bombers standing loose and unmarked. Carosella was one of them, and you'd probably expect him to kick it on a 45-degree angle from about 25, 30 metres out.
This will be very handy. Neil Curley thought the Crows had a 2 to 3 goal advantage in the opening term. He's got his second, and the Bombers third.
Traction control, sports mode transmission, and a powerful new 3.5-litre V6 engine, new Magnus Sports will give you the ride of your life. It is Mitsubishi.
Just a magnificent scene here at Football Park. The Crows at home to the Bombers. The Bombers opening up pretty well. Rashudo gathers the ball, kicks across his left shoulder. The ball spills. It's Masidi again. Oh, gee, hasn't he been productive? Michael Pryor's kick goes down the line, looking for Long, just bouncing away from that player. And Kane Johnson over for a boundary throw-in between wing and left half forward, favouring Essendon.
Robert, the handwork by the Bombers tonight been fantastic in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this quarter. Been finding their players. It makes a big difference when you're kicking into a breeze.
Thanks, Dipper. Boundary throw-in. Pittman knocks it down, but Buick is there. They'll go forward again, the Bombers. The kick by Buick goes towards centre-half forward. A little bit of rain falling now here at Football Park. Edwards with the football tackled by Barry Young.
Robbo to Lucas. Free kick to Lucas at centre-half forward.
Pate for holding the man, Robbo. I must admit, I really didn't see anything that warranted the free kick, but the umpire's signal clearly indicated that Lucas had been held without the ball.
Well, everything going for the Bombers. Lucas, a set shot at goal. You would think, from past experiences, he'd get the distance. It's gone right to the line, and it's helped over in the finish by Ben Hart for a rush behind.
And Robbo, I think that's a pretty good indication of how strong the breeze is here. He would normally have no trouble from around the 50-metre mark, and that really did drop quickly in the goal square.
6 shots already to Essendon. 1 hurried shot by Nigel Smart for the Crows.
Hart is going long and again gets it to Pittman. Rain starting to tumble down here. Pushed forward again by the Bombers. Robin tries to hold them up, can't. Handball out, didn't go far from Shane Ellen. Quick kick by Brett Burton to almost half forward. Pryor was there. Well played. Vardy was good. Burton was good. And then a high ball to centre-half forward. The first real attack here since the opening minute, but Fletcher timed it much better than Smart and took the mark unopposed. Out wide, finds Barnard, who's playing on Dean Howard, and he's having a fair run early. Solomon, who's on Bond. Good kick into the breeze. Robin front. Look, a terrific mark. That was a fantastic grab.
Hurt his ankle.
Oh, he's in trouble, isn't he? Writhing in pain. A good contest there, and Lucas is in real trouble here.
Must have fallen awkwardly after he took the mark.
Well, you just doubt whether he can go on for the moment at least. Great grab. Bang down. Twisting. Oh, looked awful, didn't it?
Yeah, probably a very nasty sprain, and whilst he might be able to continue here, it's the sort of thing that you can get treatment for, strap it up pretty tightly, maybe even take an injection for. So perhaps we haven't seen, if there's no breaks, there's a very real possibility it'll come back on.
Bruce, while we're talking or while we're waiting for the game to recommence, a lot has been said about the Essendon forward line, their defence, now led by Wellman, Hardwick, Barnard and Fletcher. Is just playing superb defensive footy.
Setting calls for the stretcher now, Bruce.
I'll tell you what, this is I'd reckon this is a little worse than a sprain. He is just, since it happened, he has just been in agony.
Well, when I saw him bounce up and he tried to sort of walk it off, I thought maybe it's not that bad. But all of a sudden, he's gone back down onto his back. They've called for the stretcher. Maybe there is a break or even some serious ligament damage.
Crows captain had a very bad ankle injury, didn't he, Bickley, against the Kangaroos, and it's been out for a number of weeks. So fingers crossed for Lucas, who struggled to form this year, found a bit against the Hawks in the match before the State of Origin, and has started tonight very, very well.
Certainly looked very dangerous. That was a tremendous mark that he took. He just worked his opponent underneath it and took a very good mark, but unfortunately, he's not going to be in a fit state to take the kick, and we'll have to wait and see just how bad the injury is.
Jason, you know, the structure of a team, the 18 that go out on the ground, very quickly Rioli got a smack in the eye and had to come off the ground. He's replaced by Caracella, who kicked 2 goals. Now we have Scott Lucas in trouble. The interchange at the start were Eastor, Caracella, Doolan and McVeigh. How important is it the coach quickly gets this structure back in order?
Well, one thing you do look for when you've got 4 on the interchange bench, you've got to have a good spread of players that can cope for just about any occasion that comes up on the field. Now, Scott Lucas is a key player. We're talking about the centre-half forward, so you need another good marking option in there. And Simon Eastor will give him a good tall target up forward. Mind you, a lot of the responsibility is going to fall on the flanks and pockets now. They're going to have to chip in. They can't rely on Eastor to come and perhaps have the same impact as a Lucas would. But he's certainly given a good contest up there.
Well, Jason, you probably see Alessio go to full forward and Eastor in the middle. And bad news for Lucas. He's one of those players who just needs a bit of form over the last couple of weeks. And he's played centre-half back all over the place. And after taking a great mark like that, at the moment, it looks like he's holding his leg up.
And Dip, I think it's far more than a strain. I think it's a nasty one.
Well, he's been durable. He's played 54 consecutive matches. He hasn't missed a game of footy for well over 2 seasons, but he's had a good run. But tonight, he's in a lot of trouble.
And the Bombers bench, Bruce, the Bombers bench is Rioli's still in the rooms. He's just having his face stitched up a bit. He had a nasty cut across his face, and of course, we've just seen the young man go off as well. So they're down to 2 at the moment.
Thanks to Caracella, who's already kicked 2, could kick 3 here. With the rain coming down into the breeze, he's kicked it pretty well. Lucas is going to be happy with that. That's a great kick.
Well, I always thought that you had to take your new car back to the dealer to get it serviced. But this friend of mine said that she gets hers serviced at UltraTune. They use all of the right parts and the price is fixed. Hey, they sound pretty good to me.
Yeah, you better believe it. Dean Rioli was picked in the opening 18. He got a smack in the eye. On came Blake Caracella. And in the ensuing 5 or 6 minutes, he's managed to kick 3 goals to give the Bombers a great start. The Crows have received the free kick here in the middle of the ground. It goes to James. He goes straight towards goal. Lovely long kick to the goal front. Bounces back into the arms of Howard. Trying to get the free kick there was Bond. Back with a chance for the Crows was Golding. But the umpire has decided to bounce about 50 metres from the Adelaide goal.
And exactly as you called it, Rob. I mean, the Crows crowd aren't happy, but there was no doubt that that free kick was staged for, not warranted.
Ruck work now being done by Eastor. Solomon knocked off the football there by Howard. Just nothing productive happening for the Crows. And the umpire will bounce once again. Sorry, Curls, go.
That's okay, Rob. Of course, with this great start by Essendon, 4 goals into the breeze with a dry ball, if it does get it all wet, it's going to make the Crows' job a lot harder.
Golding on the ground with Eastor. Eastor won it. Pryor's kick is a good one. Landing for Wellman, who made it. Wellman at centre wing. Attacks the centre-half forward. Alessio the target. Robin didn't have a great idea there. Alessio outnumbered. It ricochets off Tyson Edwards. Edwards, Moorcroft did a good job to pressure him hard. And a boundary throw-in. Well, all the body language and the vibes are good for the Bombers at the moment, and the Crows are going up and down in the one spot.
Sean Wellman's looked very good at centre-half back as well. He's not only stopping the ball as it comes forward, he's really giving him a springboard out of defence.
It eludes Alessio, taken by Mercury, and Mercury has missed.
That's a real let-off there for the Crows. That was a little bit too easy for Mark Mercury then.
Not sure if you could believe his luck, Jason.
he had a lot more time than he thought he did. He probably could have kicked an easy goal.
First kick for Mercury.
Ben Hart will bring it in. He's had plenty of this already. It's 4-4 to behind, and that's a bad kick. He was trying to wind it up with a torpedo, and it's landed in Young. Gee, Adelaide looked very poor early. First time we've seen them on Friday night footy, and they're struggling. Young to full forward, Alessio. Well done, Hart. Outnumbered in terms of height and weight, but he just got a fist to it at the last moment to get it away. Pittman getting back there now with Alessio. 28 plays 1. Caracella's kicked 3. Robbo said he came off the interchange to take Rioli's place. He's kicked 3 goals in not too long. Buick. Moorcock missed it. Goodwin's been caught. The right decision. Again, a ball up. Centre-half forward. And Bombers into attack as they have been for most of this opening term.
Yes, they lead 28-1. We've got just over 10 minutes left in the first term. A struggle for possession at centre-half forward for the Bombers. Umpire will bounce once again.
Just giving Adelaide no space at all, aren't they?
Very pleasing to see the Essendon forwards working so hard to keep the ball in the attacking 50 as well.
Big stats for Essendon, and on the other hand, the Crows haven't had much of the football at all. A chance here for Johnson. His kick smothered off the boot. Gallagher couldn't get past the Caracella tackle.
It's great to see forwards doing so well up, but in their forward line, tackling, putting the pressure on, and when the side is doing that, you know, they're certainly switched on.
And the successful coach of the last couple of years, Malcolm Blight, well, he's got the job in front of him with his boys tonight, you would think, looking at the first few minutes, but it's still early doors. Wellman punches the ball in front of himself. Barnard, pressured by Howard, knocked away by Wellman for a boundary throw-in about 45 metres around from the Adelaide goal.
And having those two started the game brilliantly. Sean Wellman and Paul Barnard, rock solid in defence.
Ruck contest in the right forward pocket for Adelaide. Hardwick, gathered here by McLeod, snapshot by, and I think that might be a little indicative of Andrew McLeod's form apparently this year. I haven't seen a lot of him, but the Crows have been looking for him to come back to something like the form of the last couple of years when he did win the Norm Smith medal in the grand finals of those last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but Ian Hardwick is making life very difficult for him. He's working him very, very hard.
Well, that's the object of a defender, you would think, Curls. Fletcher.
Exactly.
To kick the ball back well outside 50 metres. High flyer there was Solomon, couldn't take the mark. At the fall of the ball is Costa. Nearly tackled by Long, but Long did enough to give Eastor the chance to lock the ball up between wing and centre-half.
Yeah, Barry Young throwing a wobbly, saying that should have been penalised for holding the ball, but as he spun out of one tackle, he turned into another, and that's reasonable in those circumstances to bounce the footy. That's the correct decision.
Centre wing, between centre wing and half forward. Pittman is getting his hands on it a lot. Young was good. Well played, Blumfield. To Michael Long on his wrong side, but back to Hardwick. Hardwick then with this big long kick to centre half forward. Johnson almost controlled it. Has to go to ground and then get it out and gets a free kick for in the back.
Yeah, really an indiscriminate approach by Darren Buick, so penalised. The reason that's happened is because he wasn't on his correct line of kick. It seems pedantic, but that's the instruction they're given.
So Johnson up and under, doesn't get a whole lot of distance. Going to be a hard ball to mark. Oh, no, it's not.
Great.
Not for Wellman. Just so easy. Wellman pushes wide. The Bombers with space again here. It's all happening. Blumfield at centre wing. Got Shane Allen closing. The kick down the line. Caracella. Oh, boy, is he in a bit of touch, this fella.
Bit of a mismatch here, too. You would think that the young boy hasn't played a lot of senior footy, and Caracella giving him a nice touch-up.
So he's outside 50. Alessio gave him half a lead. Lloyd's about 25 metres from goal. And he goes short. Mercury caught underneath. Was always a low percentage one. That Gallagher goes back. Goodwin's kicked down the line to centre wing. Burton was outnumbered. He did a pretty good job, actually. Wellman, Blumfield, Burton, terrific effort. Wellman kept the ball in play. Caracella now the one to be outnumbered. James missed it. Gallagher's handball cut off by Mercedes. Free kick coming back, I think, to the Crows. And going to Brett James. So James at half-back. Crows trail badly here. They're one behind. Bombers are 4-4.
That behind was a scrambled shot at goal by Nigel Smart in the opening minutes of the game. Barry Young to put some pressure on. Gathered by Howard. Handball for Costa. Gathered by McLeod. Beautifully tackled there by Heffernan. Locked up and half forward for Adelaide.
Now, that one was probably closer, Robbo, because Andrew McLeod did see the tackler and did try to take him on. Just ran straight at him thinking he could break the tackle. And the ball was pinned. They're the ones that they will often penalise.
You don't see a better tackle than that.
Spectacular leap there for Adelaide by Brett Burton. We saw a replay of. Ruck work being done by Eastall. Shane Allen, a little high, was it? The umpire very much on the scene there. And Allen is the recipient of the free kick.
Gee, that's lucky not to be 50, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon Barry Young heard the whistle.
Well, they were actually told earlier in the week too, Jace, to be much tougher on 50-metre penalties, so it'll be interesting to see if we can see a change this weekend.
Perhaps a little too far out to score. We believe the breeze going at his back. Player on the mark is about 55 metres from goal. Shane Allen puts it up in the air, lets the breeze do a lot of work for him, but right on the goal line, it's helped over by the Bomber defenders for a rush behind to the Crows. They've kicked just 2 behinds from their forays up forward. The Bombers 4 goals 4 with 5 minutes left in the first term.
Long, good lead, got it from Fletcher. At half-back, gets some distance, Lloyd and Hart. Hart playing towards the line and finding it, and a boundary throw-in. 2 great young players. Hart with so much experience at 24 years of age. And if there's a hotter prospect than Lloyd in the game, well, I haven't seen it for a while. I think there'll be a lot of jockeying to see where he plays next year. And the Bombers, well, if you're Barrett for them, you just couldn't believe that he wouldn't stay there. But there'll be a lot of clubs hovering around him.
He's been very good in the one-on-one battles thus far, Ben Hart, though. He's certainly held his own strength-wise.
Did a pretty good job in the grand final in that first quarter, remembering those one-on-ones with Scholl last year. It was an absolute highlight. Pittman, nothing wrong with his game so far. Rashuto. Well, Ken Heffernan was terrific because Rashuto tried to do a back turn on him, couldn't, and Heffernan forced him to the line and forced the ball out of play.
Bruce, while we wait for this throw in, Scotty Lucas, it looks like a suspected fractured fibula, and looks like he'll be out for a good part of the season.
That's a huge blow. Thank you, Dipper, for that. We'll try and make some confirmation. So, bad luck for Lucas and the Bombers. Ellen's kicked to about 50. Front spot was Goldie. McLeod, almost some magic. Taken by Howard, terrific. And the Roo goes in. And finally, at long last.
Now?
Russell Brandy, $16.99.
Well. And speak. Queen Adelaide range, $4.99.
So what do we say?
Kahlua, $28.99.
Jars of Carlton Cold,
$25.99.
At the mate.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
Well, the Crows fans have come to life. Their team struggling for most of the first term. Have kicked their first goal through Mark Rashuto deep into this first quarter. Costa to go forward. A high ball towards full forward. Smart got rid of Fletcher. Went back in after it again, Nigel Smart. Fletcher didn't have the football. Over it now is Bond. Umpire has called for a bounce. About 20 metres out, Nigel Smart and Dustin Fletcher.
Robbo, Rioli about to come back on for the Bombers after getting a bit of a smack in the face. So
patched up, new jumper, new shorts, no sign of the blood. Taken there for Adelaide by Golding. And that left foot kick has been marked deep in the pocket by McLeod. The umpire's blown time on, John, so what happens here?
Well, it'll be put on the correct line of kick, and Hartnett will have to stay off that, out of that protected area, so if McLeod wants to play on, he's got room to do so. He's looking to do that now. Here he goes.
Kicks it back about 15 or 20 metres to Vardy. Certainly improves the angle, but Vardy now has got to kick the ball about 50 metres, maybe a little more to score.
Probably in range there, though, with the breeze behind him. I think he's a pretty good kick, this fellow.
He kicked some big goals here one night against Port Adelaide from much the same area. A lovely long kick by Peter Vardy, right to the line. It's been helped over for a rush behind. No, it might have hit the behind post.
Yes, that's right, Robo.
So boundary throw in right forward pocket for Adelaide. Essendon lead 28-8.
Crows needing one here. Golding and Eastall. Well done, Eastall. Lays it down towards Wellman. Little defensive kick towards the line. Barnard will run it over. Picked him, gee whiz. Well, it was his intention, John, you're the umpire. No doubt at all. I mean, Barnard knew the boundary line was 2 metres away.
That's
Not
a
a good
good
possession
rule.
of the footy.
I don't know nothing about football, if that's a good rule. That's just
Well, I think the point being, he didn't even try to disguise going up the line.
If
he just deliberately fumbled it. Unfortunately, he picked it up cleanly instead of fumbling it.
If he'd lunged... Here we go, let him kick the goal. No, he's missed a Bond. In fact, he might have missed a lot. That's a bad result. But just in relation to that, Bruce, I mean, if he'd lunged at the ball and taken it over with his momentum, no problem. But as Jason said, he didn't disguise it at all. And that's what he's paid the price for. Throws for the chance. Sorry, John, keep going. No, you're right, mate. It's Johnson in the pocket. Short to Bond. Well, he's on a better angle for the right footer here. Suddenly the Crows getting back here.
just settled it a little, haven't they? They looked a little rattled earlier.
So Bond from the pocket. Missed last year's premiership. Such a big player in '97 when they won. It's a good kick. Oh, it's a good kick. They like it. The Crows get their second.
They're creatures of the deep.
And absolutely beautiful.
And Katrina becomes their special friend.
This is sensational fun.
And meet the pet that reckons he could be the next Aussie surfing champ. Harry's Practice, Sunday. Then at 7.
Oh my God! It drives me crazy.
Oh, good girl.
Stay in this lane. Katrina.
What really happens when we first get behind the wheel? Watch out for Learners, Sunday at 7 on 7.
Well, while we're in the commercial break, lots of discussion in the commentary box about the free kick given against Paul Barnard. Football goes on. Barry Young squeezes a kick towards half-forward. Well done, Lloyd. Strongly built young man, and he kicks from 50 metres. Ordinary kick, dropped by Gallagher. Nearly tackled by Rioli, but he shrugged it. And his persistence has been pretty good. He's been caught once or twice, but he showed a lot of persistence there and got the ball down the ground where the mark has been taken by David Pittman.
Steve Alessio not lucky not to be pinged 50 metres then.
And we mentioned it earlier, Robbo, the strategic spotlight. Look at the Crows. All the defenders have run down the ground to drag the forwards out.
Costa overrunning the ball. In a bit of strife there was Wellman. Pressure being applied by Adelaide. Allows the kick to come forward through Johnson. Smart, the little tap out wide for Bond. Can he get his second within 30 seconds? No. He gives it to McLeod. What's happened, John?
He's been penalised for incorrect disposal. About three incidents back. Now, the reason the three umpire system was introduced was so there was always somebody deep in the forward line. The umpire was 80 metres away from that when he paid that free kick. Did you see it? I saw the flick, but the umpire... Was it a flick? I would have been happy with it being called play.
It was a perfect flick, Bruce.
Well,
We're right in front of that.
The player's gone on. Bryant's been run down by McLeod. The player allowed to go on. Hardwick off the ground, out wide to the wing. Heffernan applies the tackle on Rashudo. Kick forward here by Mercury. Gathers, look to give the hand pass away. Then the short kick is all right. Caracella. He's too far out to score, but he'll kick it into the danger zone as far as Adelaide are concerned. The ball spills. Lloyd, Moorcroft, Gary Moorcroft across the face of goal. Allen, terrific stuff by Moorcroft. And I think the umpire's a little generous there.
Now,
He won the free kick.
Yeah, Moorcroft got the free kick. We won't talk about it now because it's about to play on.
Well, it's a goal to Essendon. A goal to Essendon kicked by Rioli.
Now, the instruction given to the umpires is that if the player causes or contributes to the contact either high or in the back, then he is not to be rewarded with a free kick. Here we see Moorcroft dive. He has caused that contact to his back. He should not be rewarded with a free kick for pushing the back.
No, but what it does do, it just reflects the urgency of Gary Moorcroft. I mean, he made the extra effort to get there first because he knew if he got there was a chance he might get a free kick.
Comfortable with that, Jace, but the instruction given the umpires is not to reward that player for causing the contact to his back.
Even if the knee drops onto his back.
Exactly right, because he actually dived under the knee rather than the knee...
5-4-2-2. Keep going, John. You finished?
Well, no, mate, you're right.
Up back, Johnson. Well, I reckon the Crows are stiff at one end of the ground and then stiffer at the other again. If that's a free kick to Moorcroft, I'll go with it. Yeah. And that was
we really should cut fully, Bruce, because the umpires are clearly told if the player causes or contributes to that contact, he is not to be rewarded. Moorcroft actually dived under the knee. So because he dived under the knee, he's not to be rewarded with the free. Quarter time, it's 5-4, 34 to 2-2-14.
Working with Curly, he's got a head that's worn out 2 bodies.
He's found his spot on radio because he's got a good head for it.
He's working with his heroes.
He's great at working. Lucky he can play football.
Seoul, 1988. In one of the greatest finishes in Olympic athletics history, Australian Debbie Flintoff-King comes from behind to smash the Olympic record and win Australia's first track gold in 20 years.
If you want to experience some of the greatest moments of your life at the Olympic Games, all you need is this. If you haven't got yours yet, don't worry. You'll find a copy in the Weekend Australian this Saturday. Grab it and order your Olympic Games tickets as quick as you can. Orders are coming in fast because the first 50,000 receive this collectible Olympic Games pin, which is never to be issued again.
It's not the same if you're not there. So look for your Olympic Games ticket book inside this Saturday's Weekend Australian.
One of the most critical partnerships on Earth is that of pilot and navigator. One provides the analysis, the other makes the decisions. Norwich Union encourage you to think of your financial advisor as the navigator. Someone armed with the latest financial reporting and planning systems available. All of which puts you in the pilot seat.
You must remember this. Shepherd's traditional half-yearly sale is on now, with 30% off a selected range of Tag Heuer watches. Tag Heuer, 30% off.
As time goes by.
Shepherd's Jewelers, unforgettable.
People all over the world are getting into Star Wars Episode 1 by piecing the story back together again with a collectible jigsaw from Pizza Hut. Now get a Star Wars jigsaw meal deal. 2 large pizzas, garlic bread, and 1 collectible jigsaw from $19.95. Dine in or home delivered. Star Wars and Pizza Hut. Get into it.
The 26-year-old from Melbourne, flying on.
You can tell who uses Valvoline. You can tell. You know what I mean. You can tell who uses Valvoline.
You can tell who uses new generation Valvoline. You know what I mean.
Look at me. Mom, look at me. Mom, look at me. I'm going really fast.
Regain 2% is the only medically proven treatment for hereditary hair loss in both men and women. Used twice a day, it helps slow or stop hereditary hair loss in 8 out of 10 people. Your pharmacist will advise you whether this preparation is suitable for your condition.
Break a family tradition. Keep your hair.
A young girl who lived her life on the streets.
Just always say I can look after myself.
They found her body in a bag by the river. They don't know how, they don't know why.
I'd do anything to have her back.
Australia's Most Wanted, Monday.
Welcome back to Footy Park. What an explosive finish to that opening term. And didn't Malcolm Blight let rip with the Adelaide Crows at quarter time? It's 2-2 to 5-4. So it's 14 to 34. The Bombers into the breeze, leading by 20 points. Now, if you don't want to know the score of the other match tonight at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Melbourne Fremantle, look away. This is a progressive score in the third quarter. Now, we're not going to tell you what's happened, but Jeff Farmer's got 3 for Melbourne. Modra's got 7 for Fremantle. It's the 4th time this year he's kicked at least 6 goals in a term. Well, we're almost about to start the second quarter here, 5-4 to 2-2. Now, a reminder about the Mitre 10 competition. Would you like to spend the grand final plus the Brownlow medal with some of the biggest names in AFL? Names like Rashudo and Hurd and Carey, Lockett and Richardson, all Club 10 superstars. You could also win a $10,000 Mitre 10 gift voucher. There's also a great piece of footy memorabilia each week worth $1,000. Call the number on the screen. Tell us who was Adelaide's 1998 best and fairest player. I'll give you a hint. He's kicked the goal for the Crows so far tonight. We start the second term here. Costa getting it out of the centre to James. James's quick kick to half forward. Vardy, well done. Going early was Pryor, and the handball away from Long was a beauty. Releasing Blumfield. Blumfield to half forward. Rioli, good hands. Well done. Runs on. 40 metres out. Lines him up. Close. Very close. I think he's got it. Well, Rioli's kicked 2. The bloke that took his place has kicked 3. That's been a good move. They've kicked 5 between them. It's 2-2 to 6-4.
And I'll tell you what, Dean Rioli showed incredible courage for a bloke that had gone off in the first quarter after having his head split open to get stitched up. He backed into oncoming traffic, showing basically no care for his own safety. Took the mark, found himself in a bit of space, and finished it off very, very nicely. And that's his second there. Gee, just the worst start the Crows could have hoped for.
And how fate bites you on the backside, Jason. He was, I think it was an Adelaide boy that ran into him in the first quarter that forced him to go off the ground and give Carousella his chance. As Bruce has mentioned, Carousella with 3, Rioli with 2, Essendon have got their 6. They get the ball forward to within scoring distance once again. Edwards, geez, gang tackle, good sign for the Bombers. Goodwin's kick back to the centre of the ground. Not taken there by Peter Vardy. His kick is blind. Wellman quickly out wide towards the wing. Contest. Blumfield combines with Pryor. Pryor's left foot kick into the pocket. Gives Lloyd the chance to run with the football in front of him. His little kick, not too bad. Gathered by Mercury. Mercury goes back to Carousella. Carousella bombs away for his 4th. Offline and scores a behind.
I'll tell you what, pretty interesting setup in the Bombers forward line too at that centre bounce. Lloyd playing up at half forward and Mercury was on his own in the goal square.
Fellas, quarter time, Malcolm Blight very angry individually and also as a group. He really demanded more from his players.
Well, we'll soon see in the opening minutes of the second term. It's all Essendon so far. Blumfield's left foot snap goes right off the side of his boot. Misses everything. Free kick on the full back line to be taken by Ben Hart. 27 points is the advantage, and look at the strapping there on the leg of Scott Lucas.
It's actually plastered. They've already plastered the leg, Robbo.
Thanks, Dipper. Well, bad luck there for Scott Lucas. Gallagher for the Crows. Kicks the ball high. In short, mark taken by Robran. His first effective possession, Matthew Robran. Goes back and kicks the ball long. Lands the ball close to the centre of the ground. Gathered here by Heffernan. Had the football. Burton trying to play on, but the umpire's going to bring it back. Got to bring it back to Johnson. Rain continues to fall. It's not heavy rain. Obviously, will cause a little bit of difficulty for the ball handling ability of the players out on the ground. This time kicked away for a boundary throw-in as Adelaide effect a change. Robran is off the ground, and coming on to replace him is Tyson as the boundary umpire throws it in. Left half forward for the Crows. Golding goes past Basidi. It was Howard actually, and his kick has been marked by McLeod. McLeod is 45 metres from goal. It has been chronicled that the breeze is blowing to the right-hand end of the screen. Andrew McLeod going into whatever breeze. It's just died down a little bit with the rain coming down. Maybe the breeze ineffectual.
Still pretty strong on that.
Difficult kick here for McLeod from 45. Striving for the distance. Slips off the side of his boot. It's still in the front of the goals there. Solomon leaves it behind. Pryor. Gee, that was a percentage kick, wasn't it, by Michael Pryor. Gathered distance and found the boundary line and forced a throw in.
Robert, with the rain just sort of starting slowly and the breeze going Essendon's way, I know we have great turnarounds in footy, but it's just hard to see how the Crows can get back in this game.
6-5, 2-2 girls. Alessio at half-back. Handball okay. Barnard's quick hands to Wellman, to Hardwick. Good build up here. Hardwick's kicked out wide. Rioli's the target, and Millie takes a good one in front of his face to Solomon. This is a terrific build up. Solomon will go hard and long to fall forward. Buick outnumbered. Hart took a chance, came across the front. Ball comes off a Crows player's leg and to the pocket. Boundary throw in. Ben Hart just admonishing himself, but well done. He took the chance. He had to leave Lloyd. and he really made a fair fist of it. Crows 4.5 behind here. The Bombers with a chance to stitch them up before half-time. Pittman, Foster to Pittman, left foot, not far. Smoking Joe, who had a heap of it early, has got it. Mercedes, 10th possession. Kick is a good one to the front of the square, and a beauty. Mercury, now Carosella was able to hold Gallagher out, and Mercury unopposed took the mark.
Yeah, that was great work by Blake Carosella. He knew that Mercury was unopposed, would take an easy mark if he could just make it look like he was battling with his man and not providing a fair dinkum shepherd. But at the end of the day, that's basically what it was. A well-disguised shepherd, and should result in an Essendon goal.
Not so well disguised, actually.
So Mercury, who rarely misses these, he's very careful with it, and I reckon he probably just
stabbed at it a bit.
Yeah, just kicked through it. So a couple of behinds. I mean, on the run with the footy from there, he'd get that 10 out of 10, wouldn't he? Would not miss.
If it's instinctive, he nearly always kicks it. Yep. It's funny how when you got time to think about it, things go wrong.
2-2-6-6. Ben Hart to himself. Gets it outside 50, and a free kick going to the Bombers.
Bombers wait for a push paid, Bruce.
Lloyd's got it, John, and Lloyd's kicked to Mercedes. Costa coming in. Ball comes to the back. Still at centre-half forward. Handball by Heffernan. Carosella wide. They're at centre wing now. Carosella with too much time. A lot of time, as it turned out. Wobbles at the full forward. Ben Hart belts it away, and another free kick. This one's going to Edwards.
You quite wonder, don't you? Looks like a fairly good contest there, but the free kick to Edwards, and he'll kick it wide, very wide. Position being made there by Johnson. Kicks the ball down towards half forward. Well played by Barnard. Will force a boundary throw, and he's a real desperado, isn't he? Brute Barnard, and he's knocked it clear. 28 points. The advantage for Essendon. Still early in the second term. Alessio gets a second chop at it. Knocks it into the middle of the ground. Massini well tackled by Gallagher. Ball spills for Rashudo. Out wide he goes to James. James a high ball. Pretty well up and under. Back there was Howard. Couldn't take the mark. Brilliantly gathered by Mercury. He is so skillful. Mark Mercury. Ball spills back to Barnard. The kick smothered off the boot. The kick lands at half forward. Now an opportunity for Hart. Tackled by Lloyd. Got the handball away. Costa. Good kick by Costa. And the mark is taken here by Burton. Barry Young is at 50 metres.
I tell you what.
No.
That's close.
Not parking.
Kicks the ball in towards the half-forward area. Fletcher and Smart. Spills to McLeod. Left foot snapped by McLeod. Back goes the Messi on the goal. Magnificent goal by Andrew McLeod.
A new record has been set. Last week, Channel 7 gave away $301,000. Call this number now to register for 7's $1 million chance of a lifetime. Weeknights at 5:30.
The biggest names in football might not be who you think. See the Stars on 7 live, 7:30 Saturday, June 12th.
So their two best players, probably Ben Hart at half-back was great there, and McLeod finishing it off. Crows 3-2-6-6, so they stay in touch. Pittman's kick smothered. Going forward is Burton to centre-half forward. Golding and Wellman, who's been fantastic. Played a fair bit of footy at this club with this man, Sean Wellman. 34 games, in fact, under Graham Corns and Robert Shaw. Mercedes got it. Mercedes kick to Lloyd is a good one. It was a wonderful kick, wasn't it?
He was half a metre away, Ben Hart.
Long's got it from Lloyd. Long's kick is wonderful. Well, almost to the behind. It looked a beauty. It looked like it was set up for Rioli, and he's just missed for a point. 6-7-3-2. This game is gaining momentum. Hart quickly out. Crows have lifted, there's no doubt, but the Bombers have given them a hiding early. Tyson Edwards has kicked. Johnson's been probably the Crows' best. The Rouge handball to Burton. Burton down the line. Golding's looked all right. The kid back inboard to James. James hard and high to centre-half forward. Front spot Vardy. Well done Barnard. Howard with him. It's a contest at centre-half forward. Crows hold it up. It'll be a ball up. It's 3-2 to 6-7. But suddenly it feels a lot closer than all of that.
Yeah, Bruce, I think the Crows have slowly absorbed Essendon's opening, and they're just now starting to exert a little bit of their own influence.
Essendon led by 20 at quarter time. They lead presently by 23. Still a chance. McLeod, well tackled. Ball spills to James. He's well tackled. Chipping in is Blumfield. Can't quite control it. Does so in the finish. Gets it to Buick. Buick's little kick. Well done. He weighted that nicely. Solomon looking to play on. Burton does well minding the mark and holds Solomon up. He's in his defensive half of the ground. Now he kicks and lands the ball at half forward. Big punch back there. Gathered here by Tyson. Tyson at right half back. Here's a chance for Adelaide now. Burton, he's had a fair bit of the football. Coming up for his 7th kick. Second bounce. Inside 50. Burton goes for goal. Good kick by Burton. What's happened? He's just missed by the look of it to the right-hand side.
Gee, the crowd thought he'd kicked it. Did they? Go up as one. All of a sudden, Bruce did mention that the Crows are back in it, and they've brought the crowd back into the game as well.
Big moment here for the Bombers. Just a steady. They've made all the running. They've been fantastic early. 3-3 to 6-7. Mercury. There's some experience. Hardwick. What a game he's played in this first half. Kicks into the centre. Young went early. Got rid of a couple. High handball by Rashudo. Alessio in his 100th match. Well done, Golding. Golding again. Little handball. Free kick maybe to Heffernan. Got it to Moorcroft. Back turn was fantastic. Real Rover stuff. Kicks to Lloyd. He's got it. There's acceleration there.
That was fantastic from Moorcroft, the way he spun out of danger, drove the ball long and direct, and at the point of impact when Moorcroft actually kicked the ball, Ben Hart was right on Matty Lloyd. He just pushed off him, accelerated beautifully, and that's the first time he's actually put a couple of yards on him. He really needs to kick this, I think, to sort of just break the shackles and feel that he might be a chance of getting on top of Ben Hart.
Number 1 in contested marks this season. He's number 1 in goal kicking as well. 42 goals coming into this match, including that masterpiece of the Melbourne Cricket Ground when he kicked 13 against Sydney. Kicks from 50. Oh, it's drilled at home. Perfect.
Telstra announces massive international price cuts. For the first time, new Telstra Easy Rates give you 2 ways to get low flat rates to every country in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For a quick chat, dial 0011 and save with Easy Minutes. For a good long chat, dial 0018 and save even more with Easy Half Hours. It's never been cheaper to call overseas with Telstra.
Well, Matthew Lloyd, the goal kicker, that's his first for this game. Alessio down to Long. Essendon into attack once again. Long's kick. Buick provides the contest. Rashudo. He's still got the football. Umpire calls play on. After the footy is Rioli. Little hand pass goes back to Mercury. Mercury too far out to score. Kicks it to the goal square. Chance here. Carosello again. Hits the behind post.
Gee, they had an opportunity there, Essendon. There was a mismatch down back. All of a sudden, Lloyd looked like he had to sit. Looked like he was going to take off for a big leap, and at the end, whether he was out of step, he ended up trying to work his opponent underneath it and couldn't take the mark.
11 minutes left. Lloyd doing the ruck work up against Pittman. Lloyd! Snapshot by Matthew Lloyd across his right shoulder. Hits the behind post on the other side of the ground, and it will be thrown in the left forward pocket for Essendon. Bombers 49, lead Adelaide 21. Preparing to come onto the ground is Brodie Atkinson. Pittman, big right fist to it. Spills to Moorcroft. Goes back to Rioli. Snapshot by Dean Rioli, who's missed to the left. So he scores a behind. 2 goals, 1 to Dean Rioli.
Jason, Dean Rioli is like a player like Andrew McLeod. In front of goal, just give him 1 or 2 touches a night. He can kick 2 or 3, can't he?
Yeah, he's very classy.
Ben Hart to Tyson. Started on the interchange. Back into the team this week. 1 of 5 changes. Kicks to centre wing. Free kick to the Bombers, surely. In the back, not paid. It comes back from Doolan, who's on the ground, to Hardwick, getting a lot of it. Hardwick's kick is a beauty. Carosello's been wonderful, hasn't he? In late, Tyson. He's had 5 shots for goal, Carosello, and kicked 3. 7-8 to 3-3 here, and with the breeze at his back, he'd be a big chance.
Well, judging by the fact that he almost kicked one from 50 out into the wind, you'd back him.
The Lucas one, remember the Lucas one? It was on 50, basically.
Just inside.
Carosello. going for his 4th goal. That would be a surprise contribution in the opening half. It's a good kick. It's a terrific kick. He's kicked 4 first-half goals.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand, great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
Blake Caracella, the goal kicker, he's kicked 4. Rioli has kicked 2. They lead 8-8 to 3-3. Blumfield tries to force it forward. Long, just basically anywhere. Tyson to James. Good kick by James. Left footer. Found Burton. Burton from centre-half forward. Will kick directly towards goal. Smart. Well done. On this occasion got in front of Fletcher. And he's marked certainly within scoring range, only 20 metres out, directly in front.
He's looked dangerous at times, Nigel Smart, but Fletcher's been pretty honest, basically keeping him out of the play at the moment. But that time, Fletcher just got caught watching where his opponent was. He wasn't able to feel him at the time of the kick, and Smart broke clear.
Smart goes for goal and kicks accurately, his first. So an important answering goal for Adelaide, kicked by Nigel Smart. The margin is 29 points in favour of the Bombers with 9 minutes left in the first half.
And you'll just see as the ball comes in the forward line, the ideal scenario for a defender is to be able to feel his opponent whilst keeping his eyes on the ball. That time when the kick came in from Burton, Fletcher didn't have feel and touch of his opponent. He had to take his eyes off the ball, didn't see it drop short, and Nigel Smart ducked forward and took a good mark and finished it off with a goal.
4-3-8-8. Burton with 8 kicks, so he's been important. James was terrific in the centre square a moment ago. Johnson, quick kick to centre-half forward. Bond caught underneath it. G. Wellman played it well. He just worked Golding underneath. Good tackle coming in from Golding. Second effort okay. Solomon, it just slipped back behind him. Blumfield, it's a free kick to the Bombers. High tackle maybe.
That signal given was Bruce, yes.
Blumfield wide to Rioli.
He's got Longs loose on the wing.
Can he get it to him? Well, he's in trouble. It was a low tackle in the end. That's interesting. Shane Ellen hit him around his ankles.
You've got to be kidding me.
Ellen short and finds Tyson.
I don't think Jason Lott got to see it, Bruce.
I can't believe it. How can he be caught holding the ball when he's got you by the ankles?
Tyson's kicked the ball forward. It's through Smart. The crowd kicked it. He's kicked his second.
Honey, sure you know where you're going?
Sweetheart, it's me driving.
You're on the wrong side of the road.
Must be his first time on a bike. Who's up for a sandwich?
At Amy, we know there's a lot of bad luck going around. So when you've held a rating 1 for the last 3 years without making a claim, we believe it should be yours for life. So don't be penalised for a bit of bad luck. Switch to Amy now.
Don't you just love this country?
Lucky you're with Amy.
So Rioli being penalised. He did have the ball a fair while, but he was tackled around the leg there by Shane Allen.
You hit the nail right on the head, Robbo. He did have it a fair while. Not too long, a fair while.
23 points the advantage for the Bombers. Trying to break away Rioli at the bottom of the pack, Johnson.
So, John, was that an incorrect decision?
Yes, yeah, no doubt.
56 plays 33.
Well, he's hooking into the umpires, John Russ.
Some very funny looks on the faces of the commentators up there.
I'm just agreeing with Jason.
So stand a free kick that's going to Adelaide. It'll be taken by Pittman out of the ruck contest. Pittman goes straight towards goal. A high kick will land the ball in the path there of Smart. Solomon left it behind, went after it again.
Holding.
Now the umpire has found a holding decision.
No doubt about that one. Clearly slung when he didn't have the footy, so Fletcher will take the kick.
Might be Michael Pryor, actually, that's Johnny that's got the footy. 7 minutes left. Pryor, not quite up to half-back. He'll kick the ball wide out towards the wing. Effectively finds Mercury. He's still in his defensive half of the ground. 56 plays 33. Essendon lead. Short kick. Mint for Masudi. Well done, James. Knocks the ball clear for throw-in.
And while the ball's out of bounds, Bruce, it may just be worth saying that what this crowd atmosphere can do is erode an umpire's confidence. So it might just make them make a few errors that they otherwise wouldn't make.
Interesting point. Long down to Doolan, to Mercedes, threw it away by the look of it. Not paid.
Yes.
It was. Crows have been frantic in the last 5 minutes here. It's been an interesting patch. 5-3 to 8-8. They play the 1-2. James has been important. Kicks to centre half forward. Gold in the target. Wellman couldn't quite. Couple held up. Vardy high tackle, not paid. Then tries to gang and backs his way through. It'll be a ball up. First tackle looked high on him.
Yeah.
He was going down low. Well, maybe not. Well, that's on the face from Barnard. Help me out, John. You're the umpire.
Well, I didn't think there was any high contact in all that, Bruce. It certainly looked it from a distance, but on seeing that, I don't think there was.
Wellman, James, as I said, he's been important. Just out in front. Going to ground, Pittman, I think. No, it was Howard.
Yeah, that was high contact.
They are under the pump, these umpires. The
Yeah,
crowd
they
is
are,
going
and,
to scrutinise every decision they make.
That's right. So the free kick to Mercedes, and the Bombers stroll away now. Blumfield kicks to centre up the ground. Bad miss there by the Bombers. So they've just lost it for a moment. Edwards gets it to Burton, who's been terrific. Hasn't missed a game in his rookie season. Then winds himself up. Smart the target. Front spot pushed underneath it. Vardy, McLeod, well tackled, holding the footy. Fantastic stuff, Hardwick. And that's 50 metres. Yes. Against Goodwin. I was about to wind myself up and give it a little special one on McLeod, and we actually got him.
David Hardwick was fantastic. That was just a last-ditch tackle. Have a look at the crowd giving to the umpires. Look at that. Dive, just caught him by the back of the jumper, and he didn't dispose of the ball. A good free kick.
Hardwick kicks to centre wing.
And out there, a great mark taken by Lloyd in front of Ben Hart. We thought that'd be an enthralling contest between the two young guns, Ben Hart and Matthew Lloyd. It's turning out just that way. Carousella. Gee, Wellman's a long way down the ground. Kicked away by Golding. Diving on it is Mercedes. Gathered by James. Running into strife there was Johnson. Also in all sorts of trouble was Costa. Now what's the umpire doing here? Too high.
Yeah, hot tackle paid and the ball will come back, Robbo. But as Jason said, the crowd are really into this now, and they're almost becoming the third participant.
Is this a hot cauldron? Have you umpired a game here?
I had the first State of Origin game here, and they nearly killed me.
What an experience it'd be. I don't know whether these blokes will get off the ground if the Crows lose the game. Solomon kicks the ball high. Back towards half forward. Mark taken by Alessio. There's no one in the forward 50 for the Bombers, so he kicks it straight towards goal. Moorcroft just has the lucky bounce. He can't get to the ball. You wouldn't believe it. Gary Moorcroft, those little legs were pumping at 10 to the dozen.
And I think he got caught in two minds, whether to try and pick up the ball or at the very last moment pick it off the ground. And he actually tripped himself. He tripped the ground.
He gave it everything, didn't he?
A great chance went begging, didn't it? Edwards for the Crows. Kicks the ball out wide to the wing. Doolan.
These are the ones the umpires have to tighten up on. That was clearly a marking contest that was over. Clearly crunched by the Essendon opponent. That's why the 50-metre penalty was brought in originally.
Johnson for Adelaide. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Good mark taken by Pittman. He's not quite up to half forward. He's on centre wing. David Pittman's ball. Lobs it, but it's Wellman defending grandly. Bond, but gathered beautifully by McLeod. Left foot kick to the pocket. Smart from the end of it. Couldn't take the mark, and away goes Fletcher. And he kicks for the safety of the boundary line and finds it about 85 to 90 metres away from the Adelaide goal.
Ian Malcolm Bright's putting his faith in the youngsters here because Robin and Rashuto are both on the fence.
Well, McVeigh's come on for Rioli, so Kevin Sheedy's got a couple of kids out there as well. Long at half-back. Well done by Howard. McLeod's been wonderful.
He's passed free kick behind play because Long got taken very high.
Thanks, Jason. So it's come back to Michael Long.
Just saying, it's just a shit. Left if contact is made above the shoulder, the free kick has to be paid. So
he didn't have to do it either, did he?
No, that's right. I mean, sure, if it's just a shepherd,
this guy is going to have a... He's just going to have a...
Do you know what he is, Robbo?
He'll have a primary, I'll tell you right now.
If John Russo's the fourth umpire, he's the fifth umpire.
Exactly.
Long short to McVeigh just on the ground at centre wing. 18 years of age. has a famous Essendon number. Kicks to half forward. Lloyd put his bottom out and kept hard out of the contest. Gallagher back. Gallagher couldn't get rid of Lloyd. Did all right though. Goodwin threads his way. This is an important ball. Moorcroft, McCurry, back turn was terrific. McCurry kicks across the ground to Wellman. Well done, Tyson, just to give him a little nudge. Pushed forward by Wellman to Alessio. He's not quite as quick as Gary Moorcroft in that situation. Ball up.
Tyson good. Yeah. Tyson
It was
very
really
good
good on Wellman, wasn't he? Just to push him out of the contest.
And being confronted by the bigger Alessio there, I thought he did a terrific job, James Tyson.
What's it like at ground level, curls and different? Feels great up here.
Yeah, a lot of atmosphere.
Edwards, thanks for that, curls. Ellen, the centre wing. Tough ball, good tackle. Bond, over the top Solomon. Good contest everywhere. Hard footy to have. Johnson's been excellent. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Barnard took a chance. Gave it off, was terrific. Handball wide to Doolan. Didn't waste any time. Dumps it onto his boot. Back to the 50. Alessio front spot. Pittman was good. Wellman, long way from home. Kicks to centre half forward. It's a hard ball now. Blomfield's after it. With him is Atkinson. Off the ground by Burton. Good play. Long chasing hard. Burton chasing him hard. Still in play. Burton taps it along the line. Michael Long. Ball still in play. Now it's out. Boundary throw. Bring it back. Michael Long.
Michael Long complaining, but no doubt as he spun, trying to avoid the tackle, he did carry the ball over the boundary line, so I have no doubt that the umpire was right. And Longy, just as he turns around here, there it is. It's over the line there, no worries.
So the Bombers a chance again here through Mercedes. He lobs the ball at half forward. No one home. Golding drops it. Alessio, McCurry, Carosella for goal number 5. Doesn't get anywhere near the hook that he was looking for with that kick.
Robbo, Chelsea and I have just been saying the last 10 or 15 minutes, Essendon really have let some of their chances go in front of goal. They've had an opportunity to kick 2 or 3 goals, and the pressure certainly has built up the last 10 minutes. Great game.
Well, that's indicative on the scoreboard. 8 goals, 10, 18 scoring shots to 8. And they lead by 25 points. The ball comes back towards the wing where Costa, he's tackled by Young. Well done by Barry Young. He's going to get a chance here. Oh, wow, he gets rid of that!
How did he do that?
Oh, look, magnificent play by Barry Young. Up towards full forward. Carosella will get 5. 5 before half-time.
To be fair, Robbo, I mean, the umpire certainly wouldn't have been able to see that pass on because he was obstructed, so his vision wouldn't have been clear.
And I'll just say this,
that is a great...
I don't think he threw it. He never had control of it. It just got taken out of his hands by Hardwick as he streamed by. And all of a sudden it's gone from just a quick flick of the hand to a goal at the other end in about 5 seconds.
No wonder we all thought you were a great player, Jace. You never questioned it.
He didn't throw that.
5 to Carosella. It's 9-10 to 5-3.
Just amazing combination on the wing, wasn't it, between Barry Young and Damien Hardwick.
Long to full forward. Gallagher missed it. Has a second go. He's under the pump. Goes towards the line. Got to be careful. Remember Barnard. Moorcroft in very hard boundary throw in.
Actually, boys, I can make comment on that hand pass. It was 10 metres in front of us. It was legit. It was okay.
So well done, Barry Young.
I wouldn't even call it a hand pass. It was neither a throw nor a hand pass.
A flick?
Pocket. Bombers in attack. They could really put a nail in the Crows here before half-time. It's a good lead they've got. Gallagher to half-back. James and Mercedes. Mercedes' contest was terrific. High tackle to the Bombers. Advantage given to Wellman. Wellman to Carosella at centre half forward. Belted away. Burton's been terrific. Johnson's been pretty good. Through the centre, Edwards. Edwards has kicked the centre wing. Almost had to take the mark though. The Crows there. Howard. He's looked a bit out of sort. Well done, Long. Couldn't quite hold his feet. Burton back at him. Was good. Barnard belts it forward. Gallagher there. Ball comes to the ground. Goodwin's got it in the back pocket.
Goodwin's left foot kick is okay. Finds Atkinson. Atkinson a little slow to get rid of the football. He's going to cough it up. On the end of it is he played on. He knocks it on to Young. Young's caught with the football in the middle of the ground. Chance here for Hardwick. Tries to get it to Long. Kicked away by Pittman. Ineffective. Gathered by McLeod. Just getting through, and eventually the siren has stopped what could have been one of the magical moments of the first half here. Andrew McLeod trying to thread his way through. Eventually got clear, but the siren has halted proceedings at Football Park. Essendon had the advantage at half-time. They've kicked 9-10-64. They lead by 31 points from Adelaide, who are 5-3-33.
Funny old game. Big difference in the scoreboard. Looks lopsided, but the excitement is sky high, and I wouldn't go anywhere. I reckon this will be a great second half. Hope you join us.
Relics from an ancient culture that was by far the richest and most prolific in the world. Be part of an adventure like no other along Egypt's mighty Nile, in the footsteps of the pharaohs on John Riddell's World Around Us, Saturday, 6:30 on 7.
Mum, I don't want to go to school today.
Why is that?
Because it's Saturday.
McDonald's 3.45 McValue breakfast. A delicious bacon and egg McMuffin, crispy hash brown and piping hot coffee. McDonald's, the only place for breakfast.
As we journey into the 21st century, the search will continue for new horizons, new ways of thinking, new opportunities. Whether your challenges take you around the corner or around the globe, make sure you carry the right financial equipment for your future. Diners Club, your new card is here.
You are an Australian, and we are the oil company who serves Australia. Adelaide Fuel Distributors, professional people, specialists constantly in touch with leading world technologies, people who can deliver the best products and the right advice, people who know there's one oil company who'll serve our country better. Adelaide Fuel Distributors, your Ampol Caltex distributor.
Dip, 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 get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Dip, 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 get a job. Dip, 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 dip.
At Employment National, we get people for jobs and jobs for people. Employment National, made for the job. Call 133 444. Are you after an even bigger feed that'll give your taste buds a real workout?
Try the Wertzburger combo at KFC. That's a Wertzburger, chips and a Pepsi, all for just $5.85.
It sure works for me.
Every Olympic Games has had its own official poster. Now the art of the Olympic Games is yours to collect in this superb series of 24 poster cards. Get the first one free in this week's Sunday Mail. There's also a token for the official Olympic collection. Cut it out and present it with $2.95 at your newsagent.
Saturday.
Another busy day at the office.
Join the fish-kissing legend
Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures in New Zealand.
as he discovers the land of the long white cloud.
There he is. He's got it.
Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures in New Zealand premieres Saturday.
Half-time here at Footy Park, and the Bombers have got a big lead. The crowd are right into this match. The umpires were booed all the way off the ground through the race. But at half-time, Essendon with 9, 10, 19 scoring shots for the Crows, 5 goals, 3. So they led by 20 points at quarter-time, and they lead by 31 at the long break. Big round coming up. It's round 10. What's going on?
Melbourne versus Fremantle. A dour demon defender is back on a roll. 150 games and not one single goal. Desperate days for Dockers. It's time to come alive. More inspiration needed, like this girl from Clive. Geelong versus St Kilda. Big V mates 1 week, rival skippers the next.
Hocking and Burke back to work, doing what they do best. It'll be Shell Shock Stadium if the Cats lose again, and the task won't be easy against Timmy and his men. Richmond versus Hawthorn. The Tigers back in town. Like this daffy centre clearance. Even the Phantom of the Opera made a special appearance. Here comes the judge! Here comes the judge! One angry coach gave the sound barrier a nudge. Brisbane Lions versus the Western Bulldogs. Roll up, cause the Bulldog boys are aiming to come to town, bring Brizzy down, and do a little lion taming. But Lethal's not worried. His boys keep scoring. At the end of the day, he'd like to say, it's the Lions who'll be roaring. West Coast versus Carlton. Those wonderful Eagles flying high on top. Now, here's a game they shouldn't drop, but the Blues' record in the West is far from shabby. And look at this spearhead, not so flabby. Kangaroos versus Port Adelaide. Last week, the Roos gave the Dockers hell with a knockout blow from Ding Dong Bell. This week, it's the Power playing for much more than pride. A win would make them their state's best side. Sydney versus Collingwood. The Magpies in Sydney as Plugger's big moment nears. Coventry's mighty record stood for over 60 years. But the champ from Ballarat needs only 3 more straight kicks. So join Bruce and the boys to watch the ball sail through the sticks.
That's what's going on. There's a huge week in AFL footy. Rex and the boys on Sunday morning. What a star-studded lineup. Maxie Hudson, Nick Daffy, Matthew Lloyd, Todd Viney, Clay Sampson and Clint Bizzle join the footy panel on Sunday morning. And a reminder about the AFL website, Plugger particularly this weekend, they've got everything on Plugger Mania and you can be there live with the complete coverage on the website when and if he kicks his 1300th goal. Also the totally secure and convenient footy store is there. It's afl.com.au for the AFL website. We're going to take a break from Footy Park, catch our breath for a moment and be back with more after this.
McDonald's McMatching with Monopoly. Peel off a game sticker and you could win big prizes instantly. Like Honda HRV Sports and PlayStation Platinum packs. McMatch and win Monopoly. Stick around. This is going to be big.
Come on, mate, we're out of here.
I think I might stay, Dad.
What do you mean you might stay?
I think I need to get in touch with my venom inside.
Smooth, creamy craft cheese spread. Any excuse will do.
99's the year of the Crows. Miracles do happen. Grab your back-to-back premiership edition of the Camry Crows Almanac because there's 160 pages featuring Crows information, player profiles and caricatures, eating out and entertainment, and a whole lot more. But that's not all. With every almanac bought, you'll receive a Crowmania entertainment card with over $200 worth of entertainment. But that's not all. With every Crows Almanac, you'll learn more about the Camry Crows in your state than you thought possible. $4.95 at your newsagent or deli.
Oh.
The only way to get to Kangaroo Island when you want to take everything for a do-your-own-thing holiday is on Kangaroo Island Sea-Link's luxurious new ferry with onboard cafeteria and bar facilities. Call 131301 for ferry and accommodation bookings.
Cash Converters, you can buy just about anything, from hi-fi systems to cameras, microwaves to computer games. And you can buy with absolute confidence, because everything we sell comes with a 30-day repair, replace, or refund warranty. Our 30-day repair, replace, or refund warranty. Another reason why Cash Converters is a better way to sell and a great place to shop.
With your normal home loan,
you could pay off your home in around 25 years. But with Money for Life from Bank SA, you could pay off your home in around 7 years. And that leaves plenty of time and money to have a family, buy a new car, extend the house, spend on the kids, maybe even see the world. Money for Life.
The Bank of South Australia.
Every Olympic Games has had its own official poster. Now the art of the Olympic Games is yours to collect in this superb series of 24 poster cards. Get the first one free in this week's Sunday Mail. There's also a token for the official Olympic collection. Cut it out and present it with $2.95 at your newsagent.
Vocal and parochial crowd. You'd expect no less here at Footy Park. It's terrific to be here. And at half-time, it's a 31-point lead to the Bombers. It's time now for Friday Night Footy's half-time drill. And James Hird told us at the start of the match, Jason, they wanted a quick start for the Bombers. And boy, didn't they get it into the breeze through Michael Long.
They certainly did. It was a fantastic goal finished off by Michael Long. Some great play further upfield. Barry Young squared the ball out of the centre square, into the centre square. He had a number of players running free. He ended up, and the ball ended up with Michael Long. Now he's just running unattended from 40 out, directly in front. Perfect start when you're facing a crowd here at Footy Park.
Dean Rioli went from the ground early with the blood rule. Blake Carosella came on, and he's been a revelation in this first half.
He's been just unbelievable. I mean, as well as knocking up getting the ball, he's managed to kick 5 goals in the first half, 3 in the first quarter. And look, some great work there by Gary Moorcroft. But every time the ball came forward, it looked like it would end up with Blake Carosella. And he just somehow managed to get himself in the right position. Great roving there at the front of the pack, read the ball well, and finished it off beautifully around the corner.
Crows just haven't been able to get the right matchup. Gallagher was on him early, the kid, and then Edwards on him.
It was a bit much for Gallagher, but look, every time they turned the ball over, the ball would go back, added with a bit of interest, I guess. He got on the end of that one from Long. And then Hardwick, now this was fantastic. He ran out of defence and kicked the ball long. And again, we just saw Carosella come into his own. He just seems to be reading the play better than those around him.
He had 8 scoring shots, Carosella, or 8 shots for goal in the first half after starting on the interchange. Scott Lucas was the big injury of the first half. In fact, one of the big injuries of the year so far, I guess. Broken his fibula, we believe.
Yeah, look, it's a shame for not just Scotty Lucas, but also for Essendon fans. He took a fantastic mark. He was looking very good early, and in the end, he's broken the fibula. Good or full marks to the Essendon medical people. They had him in plaster quick as a wink. I mean, at least the way that they attended to the injury was very, very good, but he's obviously going to be on the sidelines for a long time.
Rashudo and McLeod were always going to be very important for the Crows. Rashudo hasn't done a whole lot, but he did get their first goal.
He certainly did. I mean, he ended up on the bench in actual fact, so it hasn't been a happy night for him thus far, but he did get the goal that got the Crows started. This brought the crowd a little bit into the game. And we also saw some fantastic play by Andrew McLeod. I mean, he's just brilliant. When he accelerates and says, it's mine, it is his. And that was just an incredible goal, that one.
You reckon that he's going to have to kick 6 or 8 goals for the Crows to win this game tonight? He's kicked 2. He has looked very dangerous. Now, team stats. We give various points for kicks, handballs, marks, and extra for goals. James up the top.
Yeah, look, he's been very good. Also, Burton's been very impressive. But when you stack those stats up against those of the Bombers, they pale into insignificance. They've had a lot less of the ball, the Crows, and they really need to have some clear winners in the second half.
OK, so Rashudo's in the top half a dozen with only 7 disposal. Let's go to the Bombers and just see the difference. The numbers are going to be far greater here.
Well, they certainly are. I mean, the number of them in double figures. The top 5 or 6 there have double figures in possessions, and they're just dominating the game. And look, Michael Long's been fantastic. Sean Wellman's been great. And, of course, Blake Carosella with 5 goals, proving to be the match winner at this stage.
As I said, it feels close, but it is a 31-point margin at the moment, and the Bombers in control. Another game on Friday night, Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's Melbourne versus Fremantle. Here are some of the highlights.
Makes it look okay. Kicks through the centre. Waterhouse is storming up to meet it. Trapped it pretty well. Bond slaps it across to Black. Sent away on his left foot to Dodd. Dodd feeds it back to the middle. This is Ship going at his second goal. And it's okay. Plays on. Kicks down towards the attacking 50. Schwartz was held. He'll get the free kick. Advantage will be paid, will it? Well, Chisholm, not a particularly good kick down towards the
well
pocket.
worked, Farmer.
But Farmer comes back
Well
under the
worked.
ball, goes at right angles and kicks a goal for Melbourne.
Kick comes down from Wirra, who's already kicked a couple of goals. Ship likewise going at another one. Modra for the big specky. Shanahan in front. Why wasn't it a free kick? Gets a goal!
So bounce inside the attacking 50 for the Demons. Schwartz battling hard. He's 40 metres out. Can he do better this time? He missed last time, but this is a beautiful effort on the left foot. Belatedly.
Highlights here of the match. It's deep into the final term. If you don't want to know the score, some stations taking a replay. Look away right now. Well, that's the score. I can tell you one thing. Tony Modra's kicked 10 goals in the match so far. It's the first time he's had double figures since 1994. The first time a Docker has kicked 10 goals in a match. We'll take a break, second half after this.
Coming to a screen near you.
Stick out your index finger.
Their courtship's been a ticking time bomb.
Why hasn't he?
Now's ready for it to go off.
I'll get myself ready.
You can be sure things are gonna get hot. When Ally McBeal...
Who's the sick one?
Him.
Her.
Mixes it with Bruce Willis.
Shut up! I'm speaking now.
A star-studded Ally presented by Holden Monday on 7.
When you need a delicious breakfast, the only place to go is McDonald's.
Well, once I had 27 hotcakes in one go. That's nothing. I ate 30 free hash browns. As if...
We run Colorific. We're Australia's #1 craft toy company.
I'm doing a fountain for the children.
We also make face paints. How do we know what works? We understand our consumer.
Look at this, Poppy.
One day, every child in the world will be playing with one of our toys. At the bank, we look after their everyday stuff, such as payroll, leasing, and all their finance, so they can do what they do best. So what's it called? Watch Me Grow.
If you want to get more out of your business, make it happen with the bank. Call 13 19 98.
People travel from all over the world to see the Outback. Fortunately, we have it on our very own doorstep. The Stratco Outback. A veranda, carport, patio and pergola system with exclusive design features and a brilliant high-gloss colour bond finish. The Stratco Outback is unique and affordable, and you need travel no further than Stratco or an authorised dealer.
If you're an employer, make sure you have a super fund like CBUS. There are no administrative hassles and no charges to your business. CBUS also protects the retirement dreams of your employees.
A lot of 10-bin bowling, mate, and lazing around in the backyard.
Camping around Australia.
Just a little getaway holiday house.
I plan to go to Queensland. I think I'd buy a new jet ski, go on a holiday around the world. Actually, that sounds better than a jet ski. I think I'd go on a holiday too.
CBUS earns strong returns, and being an industry super fund, there are no sales commissions. All the profits belong to members. Call CBUS on 1-800-621-123 and see how simple super can be for your business. It's the super of the future.
See every recliner suite you ever wanted at the lowest price, or it's free at Discount Lounge Centre. The recliner suite experts. Hundreds of fabrics, unbelievable selection, absolute luxury at South Australia's largest lounge specialist. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
The bank has offered us excellent financial solutions, such as overdraft, equipment finance, leasing. You took what I was going to say.
We're helping real businesses like Colorific make it happen. To find out what we can do for you, call 13 19 98.
Oh, I agree with you, mate. It's been a terrible year, yeah. Oh, terrible. Yeah, me too. Lucky to break even. Still, not the end of the world, though, eh? No, you're absolutely right. It's no laughing matter. Yeah, well, I'll be just happy to put this year behind me. Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's tax time, so reward yourself at Officeworks.
Half-time here, and the Bombers lead by 31 points. They're 9-10, and the Crows are 5-3. players out there on the ground. Dipper's down on the boundary line with James Hurd. Dipper.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, terrific first half there, James. How did the Bombers see that first half?
Yeah, probably Dipper was probably a very good half for us, but we know the Crows can kick goals pretty easily on this ground, and so we're not discounting them, and 5 goals is a good lead for us, but the Crows are a very good side.
And some young players tonight. Gary Moorcroft very hard under the ball, and Carousel doing your job.
Yeah, well, Gaz has been great under the ball, but Blake Carousel, 5 goals and a half, that's a great job.
And obviously the first couple of goals in this quarter is very important against this strong wind.
Yeah, hopefully we can kick the first 1 or 2, and that'll get us off to a good start and a win, hopefully.
Well, thanks for joining us on the boundary line, James,
thanks,
and hope to see you back soon.
It's been great.
Thanks, James and Dipper. Well, you'd expect this 5 minutes to tell a tale here. If the Crows are going to make a run at the Bombers, they'd need to do it at the start of this term. Breeze at their back, it looks to have freshened up. It's a big margin on the scoreboard because of the crowd input and some umpiring decisions. It feels a whole lot closer. James got it from Pittman, but quickly onto him, Heffernan. Johnson, who was terrific in the opening half, to Tyson, to Smart. Couldn't quite. It was a hard ball, and Fletcher was good enough to put the pressure on. Solomon mops up, kicks the ball hard and high into the centre. Burton has been so impressive. Back to Mercedes. Mercedes able to steady. Kicks to Lloyd. It's a good kick. Hart and Lloyd. Wonderful duel in the first half. Again, Lloyd and Hart. Hart's got him. Play on called. Barry Young's been okay. He's caught by Burton. Again, play on. Back to Lloyd. Caught on his wrong side. And he's kicked it out. Close. In fact, he's kicked it out on the fall. It's Atkinson to kick it in. Had a hernia, Atkinson. He looked very slow the only time he touched it in the first half. And when he turned it over to Eastor, kicks to Sell. Oh! Burton's taken a ripper! Well, we'll see that again. Kicks to centre half forward. Hardwick and McLeod. Fletcher had to kick it at right angles across the ground. The race is on. Oh, what a mark by Burton a moment ago. Off the ground from Blumfield. Boundaries
What
running.
about that?
Press the button, Robbo, and let's have a look at what could be the Cadbury mark of the year.
Gee, it's a terrific leap, isn't it, Jason? Wonderful leap. He's played a pretty good game, that boy, too.
He has.
Against the odds. There's a chance here to go forward in their right forward pocket. Kane Johnson does well. And the ball finishes with very much a goal kicker for Adelaide, Peter Vardy. If the Crows are to be any chance in this match, you would think Vardy would have to kick this goal from about 30 metres, maybe a little further, 35 metres, on approximately a 45-degree angle.
I'd certainly agree with that, Ian, and I'd certainly say that this has to be a huge quarter if the Crows want to get back right into this game.
Well, it's not a big margin, Curls, 31 points in modern football, but Vardy goes for goal. He does it. He gets it through nicely. A goal to Adelaide.
On Today Tonight, the bizarre religious cult busted open.
I need some help over here. I believe the woman is capable of anything.
The co-founder blows the whistle.
I've seen what's happening with people's lives, and I have to put a stop to it.
He blames his own wife, but she and her followers turn on him.
Spiritual warfare.
Plus, putting junk food on trial.
If you ate this hamburger, you'd be eating that much fat.
Our lab tests reveal what you are really eating.
Yeah, the worst option.
And how the fast foods compare. Next week on 7.
Well, very good start. Malcolm Blight would have been asking for a supreme effort in the first 5 or 6 minutes. And they got there just desserts. Barry Young hooked off the ball there by Johnson. A struggle at half forward for Essendon. Kicked off the ground. Ball spills for Ben Hart. Kicked off the ground again by Moorcroft. Goes down and gathers. Mercury, left foot snapshot by Mark Mercury. Scores his 3rd behind of the game.
Just going on with that, Ian, looking at the situation with the scoreboard and the breeze, you'd have to say the Crows would want to kick between 6 or 7 goals to win this match this quarter.
It does look as though it's stiffened a little bit, Curls, at the start of this 3rd term.
Certainly has.
Tyson's kick across his body. This will test Michael Long. Trying to run him down Atkinson. Michael Long gets the front posse, uses the body beautifully, gathers and gets it to Mercury. One bounce, he's run down, got the handball away. Mercedes, little hand pass, missed Mercury. Mercury looked for the free kick. Didn't get it. Still a real struggle for possession. Blumfield gets it away now to Mercury. In turn, Rioli. Rioli to the front of the goals. Up goes Alessio. Falls over at the critical stage. Stevens is on the ground for Adelaide. Runs down the ground, Mark Stevens. Kicks the ball to centre half forward. The mark not taken by Robin. Spills to Smart. Can't control the footy. Mafidi 50 metres from the Adelaide goal. Is gang tackled and dragged to the ground. The umpire will bounce. Certainly some urgency in this match early in the third term. Umpire to bounce the ball. A few of the interesting matchups at the top of the screen. Young, taken to the ground there, Vardy, and the umpire will bounce once again in very much the same area as the previous ball up. Mark Nash, Stephen Hanley and Shane McInerney. They need all the security they can get if they're going to get off this ground safely and securely at the end. Pryor kicks it out wide. Very good body work provided by Edwards. Back went Caracella, Rioli, Edwards. Ball spills to Doolan. Doolan just across his body to find the safety of the line. And Edwards getting some applause from his supporters as the boundary umpire will throw it in on centre wing. 65 plays 39 early in the third term.
Pittman and Eastor. Pittman's won most of them. Down towards Costa. With him, Doolan. Costa caught up by Doolan again. And it'll be a ball up. Smart in the goal square for the Crows are playing Shane Allen and Matthew Robin forward in this term to help McLeod. So a different setup. Bomber bench. Lucas, of course, out of action with that injury. Burton, who took one of the great pushing the back. So Burton has been terrific. He's a long kick normally. Takes his man on, goes onto his wrong side, the left. Smart works to the front, almost. Ball comes to ground. Bombers are very quick to get in there and give the Crow forwards very little room, and it'll be a ball up.
I'll tell you what, Nigel Smart's very dangerous up forward. He's got his hands to a lot of mark and contest, just hasn't quite been able to hang on to it.
Curls.
Yeah, from down here, it looks as though Essendon really lost that early advantage.
So Robin and Eastor here. Bounce favoured Robin. Well done, Pryor. McLeod, handball out. Wanting Vardy, pushing the back. No free kick. Off the ground. Young, Atkinson stood his ground. Can't quite get through. He's in trouble. Well, he was held up. Was a good tackle. Looks slow, Atkinson, doesn't he? Doesn't look fully fit, really, does he? He's really struggling to break clear. A moment ago when Michael Long was able to take some ground off him. So the Crows still outside 50. Pittman belts the centre half forward. McLeod tried a second go. Barnard was terrific on the up to Young. Young delivers to centre. Atkinson versus Rioli. Building it away at the back was Golding. Quickly by Moorcroft. Back to centre half forward. A contest here. Hart took a chance. Couldn't take the mark. It means that Lloyd's free. Hart was terrific. His second effort was great. He took Mercury as a free kick.
Look, you can give all the plaudits to Ben Hart in the world, but how the Dickens was Mark Mercury expected to get rid of the ball?
Yeah, the problem is, though, Robbo, he elected to dive on the ball. He elected to dive on the ball. I'm not saying I agree with the rule, but that's what they're told.
Barry Young trying to get the ball clear to Blumfield. In turns Solomon. His kick is a bit of an up and under. Not able to take the mark. The Crows forward. Ball comes clear to Tyson. Well tackled by Messidi. He copped one from his teammate Rioli. Pittman tackled. James down. The umpires found a free kick.
Literally piggybacked him, Robbo.
So Pittman, the recipient of the free kick, across his left shoulder. Lost the ball at half forward. No push out. Solomon has the footy. Gets the hand pass away. Hardwick defending grandly. Gets the ball back towards centre wing. Alessio trying to keep Stevens away from the football. Still there to be won. Underneath there, Doolan. So was Blumfield. Still Doolan and Costa over the top. The umpire will bounce very much in the centre of the ground.
Ian, unfortunately for the Crows, Pittman just seems to have a right leg injury. I'll just check him out once the docs have a look at him.
Well, a very important player on the ball now, Herbert. Gallagher taken away by Messidi. His kick taken by Tyson. Tackled by Long. Ball spills for Moorcroft. Away to Messidi. Messidi's kick. Yes, he's got the end of it, Lloyd. But well harassed by Ben Hart. Must have taken his eyes off the footy there. Spent the ball before he'd actually gathered it.
Doolan free kick against Costa. Doolan quickly.
It'll come back, Robbo.
To half forward. Umpire's called play on.
No, the bloke in control back on the wing or near the wing is calling the ball back. Yeah, Doolan seemed lucky to get that free kick because it seemed as though both players were sort of grappling with one another rather than one being the instigator. But nevertheless, as we've seen very often during the game, the Bombers come out with a free kick, Robbo.
You called him a bloke. The Crows supporters call him something else. That bloke back near the wing. Up over the top was Herbert. Well played by Vardy. Tyson crunched as he kicked the ball. Back towards the centre of the ground. Wellman and Robrin. Robrin just gets rid of him. Goes towards goal. Matthew Robrin, a long bomb. Just missed to the right. That would have brought the place down if that had gone through. 65 plays 40. Still 25 points in favour of the Bombers. They lead 9-11 to 6-4 as Fletcher kicks in short and finds Barry Young.
Centre half back. Steadying it to Pryor. Pryor's kick along the line. Heffernan just come on the ground. Marked by Barnard, who's been good at half-back. Just measures it, the centre wing. Blunfield's very good overhead. Goodwin went with him. It was a contest. Heffernan to Rioli. Gave it back to Heffernan. Runs hard, kicks hard to centre half forward. Not so good. Ben Hart playing some sort of a match. He really is. He's kicking to the centre's a beauty. Gets to Stevens on the ground after being on the interchange in the first half. Doesn't quite get free of Alessio. Does now. Beautiful kick to Smart. Could kick a goal. That was a good build-up. Hart and Stevens. Stevens taking Alessio on. And Smart's got the kick from outside 50. We know he's a thumping kick. He winds himself up. Gives it a hook. And kicks it behind. 6-5 to 9-11. 1-2 to Nigel Smart. But as Jason said a couple of times, he's been a competitor up forward. He has been an important player. It's 41 to 65.
Pryor kicks into Fletcher. Fletcher well outside his defensive 50. Goes in towards the centre of the ground. Rioli stands his ground, which was important. It was, wasn't it? Carousel it along. Long's peripheral vision was excellent. Gave it to Blunfield.
Got a man on his own.
Blunfield's got a man on his own in the square. And it is Heffernan.
Gee, don't you wonder how that happens? A man standing in the goal square all on his own. No one within 20-odd metres of him. That's just unbelievable. And Heffernan should kick the simplest of goals.
Important goal for Essendon if they're to win this game because the Crows have dominated the last 6 minutes and he's kicked it.
Now?
Russell Brandy, $16.99.
Well. And speak. Queen Adelaide range, $4.99.
So what do we say?
Hello, $28.99.
Jars of Carlton Cold,
$25.99.
At the maid.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
10-11, 6-5. Heffernan's goal, an important one. In the centre, so Pittman from the ground. He's had the better of the centre square so far. Rioli's been good. James has had a terrific match. High tackle. Curls, just a quick one. Is Rashudo on the interchange?
Yes, he is. And,
is he injured?
No, he's ready for use.
No wonder he's not there. He's obviously not playing good footy over a period of time. Johnson's long one. Smart went early. Couldn't do it. Ellen at the back. First game for the season. Burton's been spectacular. Good tackle. And that's been one of the Bombers' trademarks this season. They lead in tackles, and they've been great tonight in that area.
Bruce, just going on with that, he has been taken from the field about, I'd say, twice in the last 3 games.
LaRue?
Yes.
Is he struggling now?
No, I think he's playing reasonable football.
Alessio and Robin. Robin front spot. Alessio at the back. Kick by Vardy, went into the man. James steadies. James kicks and just misses. So the Crows are missing a couple, just as the Bombers did in that second term when they were in control. James has been excellent. Had a lot of the footy, 17 disposals, 6-6, plays 10-11.
Fletcher goes short, finds Hardwick, gives away a little bit of meterage, back to Fletcher. Fletcher goes very wide, looks for and finds Michael Long, trying to run away there from Robin. Not advantaged by the bounce of the ball, but the seat he gathers. Back to Pryor. Pryor down the line. Long is there. It's gathered there by Ben Hart. Well tackled from behind by Matthew Lloyd. not giving the free kick away, which on a lot of occasions you see, John, the player from behind rides out of the player into the ground.
That's right. Well, that was a disciplined tackle because he didn't propel him forward.
Bounces the ball, Wellman. Good play by Young, tries to knock it forward. Well done to Mercedes. Mercedes got the kick, but Young did a lot of heavy work in the pack there. Knocked forward by Caracella, gathered by Stevens. Gets the ball back. Now there's a chance for young Gallagher. Gallagher's kick goes high and wide out to the opposite half-forward flank area. Free kick to Adelaide against Barnard.
For holding prior to the ball arriving. Barnard just wrapped him up in sort of a half tackle, so free kick for holding without the footy.
Shane Allen has the football. 9 minutes left. 29 points, the advantage for the Bombers. Kicks the ball to within scoring range. Fletcher stands his ground. Gang tackle there was Bond. Going absolutely nowhere, the umpire will bounce.
Again, Nigel Smart got his hands to the ball. Had to sit. Looked like it could have been a great mark, and it just bounced out of the hands. He's done that a few times tonight.
Just misty rain still falling at Football Park. Vardy knocked away by Pryor. Little knock by Mercury. Gives away back to Solomon. Runs away there from Burton on this occasion. Kicks it out wide. Good contest provided on Stevens by Caracella. Boundary umpire will throw it in.
Bruce, back to your comment about the Crows missing opportunities. They can't afford to. Essendon can because they're good margin.
Centre wing. Herbert, Young probably to go against him. Maybe Caracella to help out. He's got a big leap. Over the top, took it out of the air. Held up by Stevens. So Stevens is the match-up on Caracella, the man who did so much damage in the first half. Herbert, big strong body. Again, the fly from the back. That time Blumfield. Blumfield to Lloyd and Hart. Well, we've said what a great job Hart's done so far on Matthew Lloyd. It has been a terrific contest. And again, a ball in at centre wing. So it's 6-6, 10-11. Kane Johnson there, a hero of 2 grand finals for Adelaide. And they're looking for a hero or two right now. To really get this season back on track, a loss tonight would be devastating. Their 3rd loss this season at home if it does happen. Costa couldn't quite get it forward. Gallagher, who shows enough. Handball to the space. Tyson's got to keep his head over the foot. He does very well. Pushes the ball forward to Shane Allen. Allen hasn't quite got control. He also does a terrific job. Finds some space to Robin. Robin's left foot round the body. Not particularly good. The ball came to the back. Well, it just ricocheted off Burton and went to Solomon, who kicked it beautifully to Long, who tried to fend off on Tyson, and Long will go back and then delivers to Rioli.
And Rioli's on his own, but he can't gather the ball. Yes, he can. He had just enough space and then kicks it in towards half forward. Mark is taken by Blumfield from behind Herbert. 7 minutes left. Adelaide would not want Essendon to get a goal late in this 3rd term. The mark is taken by Heffernan, who has already kicked 1 goal for the Bombers earlier in this term.
Rashido coming back on, boys.
Thanks, Curls. We're watching Chris Heffernan. It is Herbert off the ground at the expense of Rashido. Heffernan kicks for goal. It's close. It's a goal.
Prices you can't go past on the multi-award-winning Mirage from $13,990. Lancer GLI Coupe $18,490 with air, and Lancer GLI Sedan $24,990 drive away with air. The Mitsubishi end of financial year sale now on.
Mitsubishi.
Just 3 kicks to Chris Heffernan, but he's kicked 2 goals, and there have been 2 important goals in this 3rd term. Alessio doing the ruck work, a scramble for possession. Robrin, left-hand handball, Allen held.
Yeah,
didn't have the football, John.
Yeah, no doubt at all, Ron. As you called it, Allen held by Barnard in that contest.
Robin the target.
Go all the way.
He's got it. He should kick a goal. He doesn't. He misses everything. When I say good kick, it stretched him out a bit, and then he's a bit flat-footed. Then he got hold and didn't quite steady. Rashido's gone to centre half forward on Wellman.
And Robin into the ruck, boys.
Blumfield's got a tank stiffer. Rain's getting a bit heavier. Blumfield's kicked the centre wing. Moorcroft front spot. Back through the hands of Johnson. Long handball away there from Doolan. Costa did pretty well. Then balances up. Goes long to centre half forward. Solomon there. Also Vardy. Ball comes to ground. Pryor. This Bomber defence has been outstanding. They were ranked 4th in the competition after 9 rounds. And tonight they have been terrific. It's 6-6 to 11-11. Hardwick in screen. Well, he's best and fairest at the club last year. And he's having another terrific season. This rain is going to make it even harder, you think, for the team chasing. Robin probably just got a tap. Quick kick by Wellman. Tyson. Ball didn't quite bounce. Atkinson gets his foot to it. Wobbles it. Smarter chance. Front spot. Bond was at the foot. Couldn't quite. Solomon. Hardwick got a high one and gets a free kick.
Bruce, don't be surprised if this wind does change, because the rain change could be coming.
Well, that would give the Crows maybe some hope. Wellman in the back pocket.
Just the rain becoming a little steadier by the look of it, Neil, in the last minute or so.
Yeah, just a tad, Ian, just a little bit.
And the breeze blowing quite drastically towards, we watch that bump by Nigel Smart on Damien Hardwick. But the breeze blowing definitely to the end, to which the Adelaide side are kicking to in this third quarter. Wellman left it behind. Mercedes does well. Wider to Barry Young. Young just takes the advantage of a little bounce. He was caught with the ball. That should have been a free kick, surely.
Well, unless he punched it, but certainly he handled it as he was going down.
Gee, he was lucky he wasn't penalised. Moorcroft goes after the footy. Little scoop out. Barnard does well. To the advantage of Doolan. Gathers and then kicks it in front of himself. Back goes Goodwin. Tackled a little high by Caracella. Did the umpire see it that way? He did. Free kick to Goodwin. He is not quite up to the wing. Rain just a little steadier. Stevens marks the ball close to centre half back. He's well tackled. Ball spills wide. Goodwin can't break away from the Caracella tackle. Atkinson fumbling. Still fumbling. Lloyd over the top. The umpire will bounce. The football between wing and right half forward favouring the Bombers. They control this game 11-11 to 6-6. And we're deep into the third term. There's 4 minutes left in this third quarter.
Umpire just having a word to Gary Moorcroft. Settling it down. And the Crows, who have struggled to kick goals all night, are faced with probably having to kick 8 or 9 from here to win the match. Robins beats up. Doolan run down by Costa. Hardwick again. So important. Robin went without it. Oh, it was a hard ball. Stevens has had a little bit of it. Goodwin taps it back to Robin. Robin getting involved. James gets it. That's Brett James. A high ball to half forward. Rashuka, important player for them. Kick their first goal. Their only goal. Early. Goes long and hard. Set up for Smart. Out the back. Bouncing behind. Well, Nigel has had a few chances in this term. Not easy, that one. Coming in hard. But missing it altogether. 6-7 to 11-11.
Bruce, from down here, I think the Essendon team have played more of a defensive role this quarter than an attacking role.
They're holding the Crows up, Curls, and Adelaide have had more of it in this term, and yet Essendon has kicked 2 goals to 1.
Yeah, I think they're playing to keep them down more than attack.
Half-back, Lloyd a long way from home, Hart with him, Ellen off the ground, James, Mercedes.
Well done, James Mercedes.
He was outnumbered, Mercedes. He went for the ball a bit quicker and a bit harder than anybody else, and then went to the boundary line.
Yeah, he was outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1. He had to effect a very clean pick-up and a quick kick along the ground to take the pressure off the Bombers. Great play.
Essendon holding up quite nicely in this third term. Mercedes gets the ball to Hardwick. Hardwick has been terrific. 17th possession to Damien Hardwick. Lloyd running with the flight of the ball. That wasn't a mark, surely. Lloyd had his hands on it. Moorcroft's kick was a beauty and found Mercury about 45 metres from goal. Difficult kick for Mark Mercury. Breeze.
I'd love to know what he's lining him up with.
I think it's about the flight of 10 side on the far side of the ground.
Breeze blowing away from the goal, at which Mark Mercury is looking at. He's kicked 3 behinds. He goes short. Have a guess who's got it. The bloke who's kicked most of the goals in this match, Blake Caracella. He's kicked 5. And going for goal number 6. 2 minutes left in the third term. You can see in the background there the rain falling quite steadily here at Football Park as Blake Carosella prepares for his attempt at goal number 6. Player on the mark, 30 metres from goal. Carosella goes for goal. It's a good kick. Didn't he judge that well? The Breeze bringing it back. It's a goal. 6 goals. A match-winning performance by Blake Carosella. Winning performance by Blake Carosella.
Tôi đến Old Trafford bởi vì tôi phát giác ra một tiếng động rất là kỳ cục ở cái máy xe của tôi. Nó kêu tích, tích, tích. Tôi nói cho họ biết điều đó và họ bảo là cái bộ phận tappers đang có một chút trở ngại. Tôi cần cái xe của tôi sửa trong một ngày, nhưng họ chỉ sửa mất có vài tiếng đồng hồ thôi. They are that good. They understand.
With all the answers, they've been terrific tonight. 12-11 to 6-7. It's going to take some doing from here. You'd reckon that's a match-winning lead. Carosella with 6 goals. Robin to James. James to Burton. Slippery ball. Burton's high ball to half-forward. Vardy was hanging on to Pryor. Pryor had a second go. Goes to Solomon. Solomon's handball. Onto it was long. Terrific stuff. Barry Young's been an important player. He went through Gallagher's fingers. Ellen can't quite get hold of it. Burton, one of the few leading lights for the Crows, but under pressure, kicks to the pocket. Pryor, Fletcher, had to keep it in, I guess. Now James, back kick. The idea was right. He had Johnson, and that's the difference. I mean, Moorcroft at the other end, on his wrong side, gets Mercury lace out, and then James misses. Well done, Ellen. Down to Burton. Burton can kick a goal. 55 metres out, and misses. So the Crows in this quarter, with a lot of chances, have kicked 1 goal 5, and the Bombers have kicked 3-1. And I know Curls talked a bit about it earlier in this term. Those missed chances are really costing Adelaide here.
Gee, that was a good kick by Michael Pryor. He pinpointed Alessio from about 40 metres. Alessio not able to take the mark. Robber the rebound footy, and it finishes with Vardy about 50 metres from goal. Right in front of the main scoreboard here at Football Park. Peter Vardy, undecided.
A great goal if he kicks this one, Robbo. He's kicking right into the teeth of the wind here.
Right into the wind, Dipper, do you
yes.
think?
Dipper, I'm tipping that if he starts this just out in front of the goals, the wind will help it through.
I'll go with you, Jay. I'll go with you.
Well, he's done that. It's a lovely kick for length. Not the accuracy he was looking for. Behind, right on the siren. Kick by Peter Vardy. So Adelaide face a very daunting prospect, you would think, in the last 30 minutes of this game. Kevin Sheedy there with one of his trusty assistants, Mark Rasciuto. 2 goals in that term to Chris Heffernan. Rioli has kicked 2 goals, and you see the three-quarter time score, 12-11 to 6 goals 8. It is a big margin in favour of the Bombers.
They've led at every change, they've won every quarter, they led by 20 at quarter time, 31 at half time, and currently it's out to 38, 6-9 to 12-11.
This 7 News Sport Update is proudly brought to you by Visa.
Hello, Chris Barth with the 7 Sport Update. Only 2 more sleeps before Plugger goes for goals. He's just 3 away from that 1,300 mark. Aussie Mark Bosnich has been arrested for robbery after a clash with a photographer outside a lap dancing club on his Bucks night. And in the league, Canberra has romped home over the Melbourne Storm 26-6. And that's the sports news to now.
It's a tense moment. Will our Visa card holder from Manly win Sydney 2000 Olympic Games tickets? The wallet's out and he's going for another card. Oh, beautiful finger flick. And yes, there's the Visa card. Look at that. Let's see that again. The dummy to the other card fooled everyone, and then that beautiful move. Fabulous. Use your Visa card and you could be eligible to win tickets to the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand, great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
Which one's yours?
That one.
Oh, beautiful. And so are you. Yes, you are. Good.
Just delivered. The new 3.5-litre V6 Magna.
We love these cars.
How can people get a message to you
A hospital?
when you're already on the phone?
No, really, Mum. I think the baby's coming. You call the hospital and I'll call Rob.
Yeah, it's another call. I'll let it go through the message bank.
That's why you need Telstra Message Bank.
Hi, Rob. Busy?
Because Message Bank makes sure you get all your messages, even when the phone line is busy. See? Call 1-800-052-052 for Telstra Message Bank.
With a budget rental vehicle, if you lock your keys inside or you need any help, just call us and our 24-hour roadside assistance will come to you. Budget drives your dollar further.
If you already have your home insurance with SGIC, why not think about insuring your car with us too? We'll give you 10% off both.
For instant warmth, use gas.
Welcome back to Footy Park, three-quarter time here, and the Bombers in control, you'd reckon. They're 12-11 to the Crows 6-9. Terrific performance by Essendon. Adelaide certainly have tried their heart out, but at this stage they haven't been up to the task. Now, the other match tonight at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, it's Melbourne and Fremantle. Now, this will be a final score. If you don't want to know it, look away right now. Repeating that Tony Modric kicked 10 goals for Fremantle. Andrew McLeod, he's struggled. He looked good in the first half, didn't really touch it in that quarter.
No, he didn't. He's shown a couple of flashes of brilliance, but unfortunately they're all too rare for the Adelaide Crows tonight. Barry Young, he's been solid without being spectacular. He's had 13 possessions. Been pretty hard at it, which is one thing you can always guarantee from Barry.
Shane Ellen's first match this season.
Hasn't had a great impact. Look, he's had 8 odd kicks and a handball, but really no impact on the match thus far.
Sean Wellman, All-Australian, and former Crow, number 6 for... number 6, he's not there at the moment, but...
he has been one of the best players on the ground, though, Sean Wellman. He's been fantastic, really kept that defence pretty tight. Nigel Smart, he's only had the 3 kicks. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. Could have taken half a dozen marks, just didn't hang on to them.
So, Smart could have been a big night for him. And Gary Moorcroft, he's been busy.
He has. Maybe, again, not a huge impact on the game, but you've got to like the way he approaches the ball. He's tough, he's hard at it, and he always gives you a fierce contest.
Rain tumbles down, curls, and the Big Dipper.
Well, a very enthusiastic Essendon. Why wouldn't you be? But as you mentioned, Jason, all the Essendon players from the back line, through the middle, through the forwards, have had their hands on the ball tonight and working very well with each other.
Your mate looks very sad down there, Dipper.
Well,
they should be.
The Crows got outscored by about 9 goals to win.
You want to get on, Curl?
No.
Costa's quick kick. Thanks, boys. Johnson pushed out of it
a free kick.
by Hardwick, not paid. Ball comes back to McLeod. 50 metres out. Floating kick. Fletcher runs across. Carries it over the line. And another behind. So the Crows, who were 5-3 at half-time, are now 6-10 against 12-11. Fletcher to bring it in. Bit stiff there. I think Johnson at centre-half forward, who looked to be shoved in the back.
Yeah, I agree with the rest.
Fletcher Asked to go now, and does to Alessio. Robin in late. Alessio, that's a good mark.
Yep.
Ball was coming back towards Robin, and Alessio playing his 100th match. Took a beauty. Barry Young. Left foot, round his body. Pretty ordinary kick, actually, from Barry. Costa's got it. Now, Smart wants it high and long. He's going to pop it up in that direction. Smart flies. Again, Fletcher, that extra height, pushes it away. Long's been good. Back to Pryor has been excellent. Doesn't have fond memories of this ground doing his knee last year in round 12. Finds the boundary line and a boundary throw-in. So 46 to 63. Michael Pryor, solid, dependable defender. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. I can hear Curls and Dipper in the background. They're chatting away at centre wing.
Barry Young gets the ball and kicks Essendon into their forward half. Rioli, Caracella, Atkinson, the Crows player, trying to keep the pressure on.
We're just discussing the weather down here, boys, just in case you want to know what we're talking about.
It looks like you're getting wet, boys.
Jason was absolutely enthralled, Dipper.
It's definitely not the Sahara Desert down here.
Robin from behind. Ball spills to the front. Well done, Mercedes. He's played pretty well. Rioli, Long, Mercedes again. 2 possessions in that passage of play. To Lloyd's feet. Tries to get it to Caracella. Back goes Stevens for Adelaide. Hand pass not too bad. Releases Robin. Robin outside his defensive 50. Gets the ball down towards the wing. Wellman has been very disciplined. Michael Long, who has led as an experienced player should. Barry Young's left foot kick across the body. Stevens couldn't take the mark. Mercury over the top. It really is just a non-event at the last few minutes here on that left half forward flank area for Essendon. The ball spills to the back. Long tries to tap it to the advantage of Barnard. He in turn goes to Heffernan. Heffernan's little kick is very good, and Solomon is marked. Not quite up to centre half forward. Solomon for the Bombers. Swings around onto his right and kicks it to within scoring range. Taken to the ground was Alessio. Edwards and Moorcroft. Kicked away by Goodwin. Just bounces inside and over for a boundary throw-in about 50 metres from the Essendon goal. The Bombers lead 83 to 46.
That young Gallagher put a fantastic contest against Alessio, but Steve Alessio fell on him after the contest and just about knocked the living stuffing out of him.
Robin, Alessio, down in the path of Blumfield. Edwards with him, Blumfield running out of room. Atkinson there as well. They robbed him off at the Crows. Atkinson keeps it down low into the breeze. Barnard belts to the line with Ellen. And a boundary throw-in.
Actually, Bruce, Robbo was right. It's very difficult to see which way either side is going. They're just not making any impact on the game at all.
That suits Kevin Schutte, doesn't it? Because there's 6 in front, the Bombers.
Certainly does.
Alessio, Robin, Blumfield, James with Heffernan. Back through the fingers to McLeod, to Atkinson. Atkinson's kick to centre wing. Johnson put underneath and held Hardwick. Good take with Schutte. Holds it up. Still holds it up. Forced to go on his left. A high ball. Be a hard ball to mark at half forward. Vardy Long has played a wonderful match. For the moment he kicked that opening goal. Handball. He always has time, doesn't he? Oh, that was a training drill. Hardwick to Fletcher. Fletcher to Smoten Joe, who also started the game terrifically well. So Mercedes at centre wing. McLeod on his mark. Mercedes gets some good distance. Alessio the target on his chest a bit too easily. In front of Matthew Robin. Wants to play on. Surely has now. No, umpire says he hasn't. I'm always confused by that rule and its interpretation.
They're instructed to call it as soon as he plays other than over his mark.
Bit of a miss kick. Caracella underneath it, held on to Stevens. And Stevens gets the mark. Tyson's wide for him. Hart will probably kick it to Tyson now.
Hart collects the ball and then does just that. Tyson has received on centre wing, looking to get onto his favoured right, then kicks the ball short to Bond. Bond's kick within scoring range. Can't take a mark up in their forward 50 of the Crows. Mercedes been terrific. Goes it to Michael Long. Long across the half-forward line. Edwards misses it. Gathered by Alessio. Played an air shot. Edwards there to gather the awkward ball. Ben Hart's kick into the middle of the ground. James, wider still. Player on his own out wide as Tyson. He's going into the tide, into the wind, and into the rain, James Tyson. Kicks the ball towards full forward. Fletcher has been disciplined. At the fall of the ball, Burton. Smart trying to force it forward. unsuccessful really, as it's locked up back there by a combination of Essendon defenders, and as a unit they've done their job grandly. Fletcher and Michael Pryor, Barnard and Hardwick, they've all been disciplined. Barry Young going back to help out. Fletcher to concede maybe a behind. Barnard does it. So it is a score to Adelaide, a rush behind. Not much happening as far as goals are concerned for Adelaide. 2 goals to Andrew McLeod, 1 each to Rashudo Vardy, Bond and Nigel Smart. They've kicked 6, and Blake Caracella has kicked 6 himself for the Bombers. Fletcher goes short, and Mercedes has created a target about 30 metres down the ground. Joe Mercedes, 24 possessions. Very much a creative and hard-working midfielder for the Bombers. The rain becoming a little heavier. The kick goes wide. Rashudo couldn't take the mark. Caracella is dumped by McLeod. Mercury over the top. The umpire surely will bounce. It was Heffernan dumped by McLeod. And the umpire will come in and bounce on centre wing.
You're right, Ian, about the rain. It is starting to set in now and making conditions very difficult for the players.
Since half-time, 3 goals to 1. It just shows you how hard goals have been in this second half. So the Bombers, it's dried up for them as well, but they're in a great position because they're well in front. Off a boot, out on the full. That's right. McVeigh. Long, hard kick. Wanting Alessio, but it's covered him with the breeze, and it'll be a boundary throw in at half-forward left. So Essendon, who went into this match in 5th place with 6 wins and 3 losses, can come away here after the bad defeat in Perth, away from Melbourne, can come away with a 7-3 and really entrench themselves in the 8 at about the halfway mark of the season. McLeod's kick, Costa couldn't take the mark, Goodwin's close to him, Bombers hold him up, Doolan comes away with it, Tyson in front, James's handball, Burton, it's very hard to go anywhere. Long will try and create, gives it to Doolan. Doolan's kicked there's some space here to Moorcroft, who had a look up and couldn't believe his luck, and then delivers to Alessio. Well done, Stevens. Ball comes to ground, handball comes out, Caracella's kicked 6. He still kicked 6. Good effort at the back, coming from Ben Hart, who actually has been outstanding, hasn't he? Played a terrific game, Ben Hart.
He's stuck to the task very well all night. He can hold his head very high, Ben Hart.
Approaching the halfway mark of the last quarter, 84 plays 47, 37-point lead to the Bombers. I guess you have to look at maybe percentage being a factor here in this match. Essendon haven't kicked a big score, but gee, they've restricted Adelaide's chances. Just 6 goals, 11. They're nearly double the Crows' score, so that could have some bearing on their percentage improving after this game. Caracella to Lloyd, back to Long. Long across the ground. Doolan can take the mark here and kick from within 50 metres. Good crowd again here at Football Park. Nearly 40,000 people. The kick by Ben Doolan covers the players up there on the goal line and scrambles through for a behind. So Ben Doolan kicks his first score for the game. Essendon 12-13, Adelaide 6-11, and it's becoming just a little dull and boring, would you say, in the last few minutes? It's just as though Essendon are prepared to stand up. Was that a free kick against Johnson? It looked fairly blatant on the screen, and the umpire saw it that way. It'll go to Hardwick. Hardwick into the middle of the ground, and it is taken here by Heffernan. Heffernan kicked 2 goals. 2 important goals for Essendon going into the breeze in the 3rd term.
Puts it up for Alessio, hard advantage, well played Alessio, backhanded it towards the goal. Under pressure, good one from Moorcroft. Moorcroft a real effort there, but a boundary throw in.
He has a go, Gary Moorcroft, doesn't he? I mean, the ball was dead and buried, and it was always going out of the boundary line, but he still threw himself at it and tried to keep it in play, as we see Mark Mercury having an early night.
That's the way he's going to survive in this Essendon team, Jason, the way he plays football. It's been terrific.
Robram caught underneath. Stevens to Atkinson. Can the Crows build something here? Bond strides away. Good kick to Rashudo in the centre. He's got it to Roo. He's had a quietish night on the interchange for a bit of it. Kicks to Smart, very wide. Ball still outside 50. Nice take. Cut off brilliantly by Barnard. The Bombers' defence has been magnificent. Mercedes kick to McVeigh. Good mark. The kid will have a bit to take away.
That's
50 against James. Kick a goal now.
Well, it's interesting actually because
A little clip behind the ear, wasn't it?
well, the 50-metre penalty is to pay for an undue encroachment over the mark or an undue delay. This causes neither. So it'd be interesting to know on what basis the 50 has been paid, because as Robbo said, it's paid for undue encroachment over the mark or an undue delay in play, and that doesn't fit under either one.
Either way, it was very sloppy though. I mean, there was no need to basically give a little clip behind the ear, but
a 50-metre penalty is a big penalty for a little clip behind the ear.
McVeigh's kick, he's got it, it's a goal.
Well, here it is, the next generation Magna.
Impressive.
There's more drive ahead and legroom than Falcon, and plenty of space for the whole family. And the new 3.5-litre V6 generates the same power as the Commodore's 3.8. So, technology, security, space, and power. When you think about it, choosing any other family car would be, illogical.
New Magna 3.5, the next generation, is Mitsubishi.
Well, a goal to Mark McVeigh has made the margin just that little bit greater for Essendon. They'll go forward again. Now, it's going to be penalised. Joe didn't like it. Well,
how can you complain
it
about
looked
that?
pretty obvious, didn't it? Peter Vardy to take it. No one on the mark, so he can run a long way, kick it out wide to half forward. This bloke can kick a football, Matthew Robran, and he thumps it. It's a big kick. He's kicked a goal from 50. Well, late in the game, Matthew Robran, a lovely long kick. His first goal. Adelaide kicked their 7th.
And unfortunately for Matthew Robram, he really hasn't done a lot else tonight. It's been a pretty quiet night by his standards. We saw him spend a little bit of time on the bench earlier. A very good finish, though. You cannot deny that for a finish.
Robran, the goal kicker, just 7 kicks in the match. Back at the centre.
It was since they kicked the goal, Robbo. Vardy's
yes,
goal
it
in
was.
the third quarter came early.
It was yes, it was a big space, Bruce, wasn't it? Alessio's done a pretty good job. Ball comes back to Goodwin. Goodwin's kick will land the ball at half forward. Chance for Wellman. Stands his ground and then battles manfully at ground level. Locks it up. The umpire will throw it in the air. Rain continues to fall quite severely now at Football Park. The last quarter, 40,000 people came here tonight, and I'm sure they had high hopes for Adelaide to break that run of losses. 3 in a row. It will be 4. Heffernan kicks it quickly. It bounces awkwardly. It lands close to half forward. Attempted knock-on by Buick. Stevens dispossessed Carosella. Carosella follows on. Still Blake Carosella. Away to Moorcroft. Moorcroft across his body. Great snapshot, but didn't hook it anywhere near as much as he desired. And eventually kicks it over on the full. So the free kick will go to Adelaide in the right back pocket, taken by Ben Hart.
And from up there, how do you see it? Do you think Essendon may have taken their foot off just a little bit?
Well, they've got a handy lead, Neil, and I guess, you know, if you relax, Jason, surely you can get yourself into a bit of strife in a game of footy. I don't think they've done that. They're just quite prepared for the arm wrestle to hold it.
Yeah, they haven't done that. They're just quite happy to shut the game out now. They've done the hard work. They've set the win up. All they have to do is keep the Crows honest now.
Atkinson to centre wing. Barnard front spot. Rashudo. Interestingly, Lloyd, 1 goal. Moorcroft is their second leading goal kicker, no goals. Mercury, their third leading goal kicker, no goals. Buick, their 4th leading goal kicker, no goals. They've got them from some strange places tonight, haven't they? Carosella and Heffernan, a couple that come to mind, and Rioli. All talented players and will kick a lot of goals in their careers, but tonight they have been the men that have put the score on the board.
Jason, just going on with that, as we all know, percentage at the end of the season is absolutely vitally important.
It certainly is, Curls. I think the effort that Essendon put on, particularly in the first half, has to take its toll. So obviously they're going to get a little bit leg weary. But look, they're certainly not deliberately taking their finger off the pulse, I'll tell you right now.
That's a good example there with that passage of play. Hart's half body was superb. Comes away from half back, kicks into the centre. Solomon front spot. McLeod, handball out wide was good to Atkinson, who's got a couple of possessions later. Centre half forward to Vardy, can thump the footy. Now steadies. To the credit of the Crows, not just because they're going forward now, they've stuck to their guns, and in these conditions it's always going to be hard to just keep kicking goals. So Adelaide have kept going even though they're 5-6 behind. Vardy's kick was hurled up, belted away, Long's handball, clever to Barnard. Barnard wide, only as far as Atkinson, wants to get it on, he knows he's outside the range, he's unsure. Can try and get it to the full forward side. Oh, he's not going to play it.
Put his hands on the back of the hands on the shoulder. And that has got to be a free kick every time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that will be a candidate for the captain mark of the year because his hands were on the shoulder. So
Warwick captain, wasn't it?
Well, it's even more blatant than Warwick's. Warwick's was the one that the umpires discussed as being on the borderline. Any worse, he will see it again. I mean, hands on the shoulders. Look, I mean, I know it is a fantastic feature of the game, but
John, it's a definite infringement, but quite often when you take the mark, the umpires do let it go.
Yeah, that's right. But the two hands on the shoulders were a bit of a giveaway, as we see here. The first intention to put the hands on Fletcher's shoulders, the second intention to take the mark.
Well, Tyson kicks it inside. It was spectacular. That was a big crunch. High ball from Young. Masidi, James, out of play. Well, Burton's taken one legitimate mark tonight that we'll remember forever, and one that wasn't paid that was just as good.
Spectacular leap there by Brett Burton. James in picture has been pretty good for Adelaide. 22 possessions to Brett James. Another look at that and spectacular leap. He's a bit disappointed, to say the least.
Chase, as you both said, the hands on the shoulders, the first action to push the hands down just gives it away.
Free kick to Adelaide to be taken by Rashudo. Rashudo's kick to the front of the square. Oh, that's a good mark. Got to pay that. It looks like Shane Allen, is it?
And the crowd very upset, but once the mark has been paid, they can't call play under advantage and cancel the mark. They can call play under advantage and cancel a free kick.
They're awkward umpires, those people in the crowd, aren't they, John?
I'll tell you what,
every decision.
Few of them have gone home, but they still make a lot of noise.
Well, Shane Allen has been paid the mark right in front of goal for Adelaide, going for Adelaide's 8th goal. His first in this game. And just to make the margin a little closer. Kicks for goal and kicks truly.
Hi. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do to help get your car back on the road?
Well, with Amy, they're taking care of everything.
Quotes?
Done.
Repairs?
Done.
Good quality?
Guaranteed for the life of the car, even if I sell it.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you don't need me then. Have a nice day.
A free service that takes care of all your post-crash running around. Call Amy now.
Official attendance, 39,389. 8-11 to 13-13. Good mark by Helen and goal. So the Crows back to 5 goals behind. Free kick to Doolan. Back to Masidi. Yet another disposal. Hard and high at the back. Carousel, who's been just in the right spot all night. McVeigh, Moorcroft, Carousel, left foot, and he's missed a lot. She's had a lot of the ball, Carousel.
With about 8 minutes to go, boys, we've got Michael Long coming off the ground and also McCurry sitting in the bench.
Well, it's a long season, Dipper, isn't it? And they're both in the veteran class, so if you look at the wind hold that ball up. Back to Moorcroft. Moorcroft to McVeigh. McVeigh's going to kick his second. He's got it. Clever. Well done. That had a touch of class about it, didn't it?
That certainly did. That was a quality finish. He had to tuck the ball under the arm and really sprint for about 5. Had to run at a little bit of an angle, and then it didn't bother him. He just kept going on the angle, calmly kicked the ball around the corner like he'd been doing it, half a dozen times a match. And he hasn't played a heck of a lot of senior footy. Great hands from Moorcroft to get the ball out, but that is what you call a quality finish.
But Gary Moorcroft with 15 possessions, the player who got the ball to Mark McVeigh for his second goal. Essendon have kicked their 14th, back out to 38 points the margin. Robran, James to McLeod. McLeod's left foot kick goes right up towards the half-forward area. Gathered here by Hardwick. His kick, not marked back there by McLeod. Gathered by Costa. Well tackled. Ball spills for Doolan, close to the line. Takes it over for a boundary throw-in. Rioli preparing to come back onto the ground. At whose expense we will soon establish. Boundary throw-in. Eastor doing the ruck work. Knocked forward by Atkinson, gathered by Solomon. In turn Young, back to McVeigh. McVeigh's right foot kick is effective. Not gathered by Caracella. Massini caught. Got the tap on though. Did well in the finish. Heffernan uses that little bit of surge to get clear and then kick the effective ball towards half forward. Back goes Ben Hart. He keeps his footing, which is very important, and then kicks short and finds Bond.
At half-back, Bond, who started in the forward line for the Crows, couldn't touch it early, didn't get a lot of opportunities, and the ball out of play. Barnard and Buick there together. Shane Ellen, we've seen a couple of times, first match this season. In fact, the Crows played him and Dean Howard, having their first games of the year. Dean Howard, his first match, full stop. Atkinson and Heffernan. Heffernan's such an impressive young player. Did the job on Rashudo early, had him taken from the ground and then kicked 2 goals in the third quarter.
Bruce, something to look at here with this football park situation. It's not becoming the feared ground for the Victorian clubs like it used to be, the Victorian-based clubs.
No, Crows 3 losses this season, and Port Adelaide also have struggled a bit in recent weeks here, Neil, and the percentages for the Adelaide teams in Adelaide this year is probably about 50%. You'd reckon that you'd want it to be about 80, wouldn't you? You'd want to win 8 out of every 10 here, and it's not happening.
I agree with that.
Well, the Bombers haven't won here since 92. They're going to rectify all that tonight, so it will only be their second victory here. Kick by Stevens, Rashudo, hard at it, but then held on to the Masiti, and Smoke and Joe's got it. Big game from him. Remember, he was dropped last year in the final, so he's had a terrific year. Moorcroft got rid of Bond, and then quickly up to Rioli. Costa onto Rioli, couldn't put the tackle on. Rioli kicks back to centre half forward. Lloyd there, hard again against him. Goodwin, terrific tackle on him again. Buick off the ground. He kicked a miracle goal. He'll love that, Buick.
You can get it dipping. You can get it chipping. You can get it having a run. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter. You can get it lumping. You can get it thumping. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
It brought a lot of pleasure. A lot of pleasure there on the face of Darren Buick. Maybe classify that as one of his luckier goals, but it still counts in his personal and the team tally. Big punch by Pryor. Ball spills now to Johnson. Hardwick back after the football. Gallagher back onto the ground there for Adelaide. Can't break away. He's in under there somewhere, young David Gallagher. Had a big job earlier across the half-back line when Essendon got off to a flyer. 5-4 to 2-2 in the first quarter. And at half-time, the Bombers led by 31 points. And they held Adelaide up in that third term when the Crows went with the aid of the Breeze. Gee, Lloyd's hand pass was good to McVeigh. McVeigh goes to Young. Young towards half-forward. No mark taken by Alessio. Bond looking for the free kick. He's going to get it. Maybe the advantage with Adelaide? No.
And I mean, could have called it, but the traffic was pretty heavy, so he would have been a bit concerned that had he called player advantage, the player would have been held up, so safety is to bring it back.
Bond with the free kick. Goes short. Bit risky, but Costa is marked. 4 minutes left in the game. Bond again, taking the hand pass from Costa. Goes out wide, looks for Tyson. Well gathered in the finish by Tyson. Back to Goodwin. Goodwin assesses and then kicks with the left. Back to the middle of the ground. Hardwick has been fantastic. Got the handball away. Masidi has been equal to the task in the middle of the ground. The ball goes towards half forward for Essendon. Stevens is there. Kick smothered off the boot. Still working hard. Goodwin kicks it pretty well up and under. May have gone the required distance to be paid a mark if someone can get on the end of it. That doesn't happen. Costa just locked up there by Barry Young. And with 3.5 minutes left in the game, and the rain absolutely tumbling down now here at Football Park, Essendon hold the advantage, 103 to 59. the Bombers will go away tonight safe and sound with 4 points locked in their kit bag.
Almost a double banger, isn't it? Like an 8-point game for them, you'd think. Heffernan pushing forward, Blumfield to Young, finally went to ground, Atkinson with him, and again a ball up. Rain pelting down. Bit miserable for the Crows. In many ways, the low point in Malcolm Blight's reign here. 4 consecutive losses. Most of us have just been thinking that the Crows would turn this season around, and it's certainly not too late for them, but they're going to be faced with a monumental task now to even play in the finals this year, let alone win their 3rd consecutive. McLeod's kicked the centre half forward. Hardwick's been outstanding, couldn't quite take the mark. Rashudo in after it, but the Bombers have been up to it all night. Their defence has been wonderful. The Buick off the ground, didn't go far. Costa caught up, they gang tackled him. Handball by Rashudo was good. Oh, Gallagher, high tackle.
Crude against Rioli, I think.
Very crude. It's a good kid, this one, I reckon. He's had a bit of a bath a couple of times tonight, but he's no good.
Bruce.
He's stuck to the task tonight. He looks a really good prospect. Sits it up for Smart. Smart, one hand. Rioli's happy to concede. It's been the Bombers' night. There's no question about that. The youngsters have been terrific. McVeigh and Rioli have given them plenty to cheer about. Their middle pingers, Heffernan and Carosella, and their oldies have been great as well. 8-12 plays 15-13.
Wellman has been as solid as a rock across that back line, along with Dustin Fletcher. Dustin Fletcher battle with Nigel Smart. The ball goes out towards the wing where Ben Hart and Matthew Lloyd are 110 metres away from the set position at which Matthew Lloyd is occupying. Barnard off the ground and Mercury back on. Well, he's moving. You wouldn't say all that freely, would you, Jason?
He has absolutely strolled out onto this wing.
You would have thought maybe he's cooled right down. Howard with the football. Well tackled in the finish there by Barry Young. Ball spills free for Heffernan. Gets back onto his right. Not really sure about what he was going to do there in the finish. Kicked in towards half forward. Stevens taken out of the contest by Alessio. And the kick from Mark Stevens is out on the full. The free kick for Essendon to be taken by Matthew Lloyd.
Rob, I reckon you'd move quicker than Mercury.
Yeah, come on, Curls. Don't ruin this good story with the truth, or what do they say? Something along those lines. Edwards couldn't take the mark. Costa, short kick by Costa, marked by Allen. Shane Allen looking for someone to be able to run down and take advantage. Tyson was that player. Rashudo trying to go long towards the goal square. Drops in short. Hardwick, he hasn't been paid the mark. And Pryor again, as did Rioli a moment or so ago, concedes a rush behind to Adelaide.
I think he got a bit of a shock, Hardwick. He almost had the mark taken over, and then all of a sudden, when Burton couldn't take it to fill in his hands, he thought, well, I may as well try and claim it.
Ryder Buick at half-back. Handball over the top to Doolan, 15-13 to 8-13. So the Crows have kicked 3-10 since half-time. Quite a few of them rushed.
Sean Wellman's come off the ground. Looks like he's grabbed in the back of his hamstring here, so the Bombers might have another injury here.
Thanks for that, Tipper. So,
and Lon's back on.
It's been fantastic, hasn't he, Wellman? Lucas with a serious injury. David Pittman's going to be a story too, the Curls, if that's anywhere serious, because they've lost Marsh and Wren for the year.
Exactly. I've heard it say, I've been told it's a leg strain. It could be a bit higher than that in the groin area. If that's the case, could be in trouble for a few weeks.
Boy, they'd be running out, wouldn't they? James, Howard, who's, well, you feel for him a bit.
I think they've run out already, Bruce, now.
8-13 to 15-13. No miracles this year, Curls, from your point of view?
No, they just haven't got their style of game going at all this year. Mind you, they've hit badly with injuries.
Edwards. Gee, this is sloppy. Stevens. They'll get out all right. Howard, Rioli, Alessio in his 100th. Could this be the fitting climax? It is. He's kicked the goal. Well, Stephen Alessio finishes this match just as a Hollywood scriptwriter would have written it in his 100th game. I do feel for Kick Dean Howard tonight. Not one thing has gone right for him.
You talk about low points for the Crows losing 4 on the trot. Well, that last passage of play where they mucked around, had about 4 or 5 possessions, eventually turned it over in the greasy conditions, and Steve Alessio just waltzed into the easiest of goals. That was definitely the low point of the night.
Almost on siren time, and the Bombers have won for the first time at Footy Park since 1992. It's been a huge win for them. A satisfying night for that famous coach. Terrific evening for Essendon. A low one really for the Crows. They went in under man, but they were outplayed right from the first bounce, to be honest. It's been all Essendon. They've won 7 out of 10. They're going to have a real crack at it this year. Tipper's out there. Good on you, Dip.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. Well, Blake, fantastic effort by yourself. Come off the bench and kicked a nice handful of goals.
Yeah, he's got to kick a few goals. It's probably more important to come off the state game and have a good win.
And also, the fact is the Bombers haven't won here since 92. Just a big confidence builder for the boys.
Yeah, certainly is. I know that I haven't won here for sure, but yeah, it's good to see we're 7-3 now, and hopefully we can go on to the better things this year.
What was the message before the game from Sheeds?
I think it was just to continue on what we've been doing during the start of the season, and hopefully continue for the rest of the year.
And the big Alessio tonight, playing 100-odd games.
Yeah, he played 100 games tonight. It's good to have a win for Seth. And we played Easter as well, the 2 ruckmen, because the Crows are a pretty tall side.
Well done tonight, mate. Good boy.
Thanks, Dipper.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dipper.
Brucey.
He was terrific, Carousella, with his 6 goals. In fact, when he came onto the ground, he had such an impact in the opening turn, kicking 3 goals in about 6 minutes. It really set it up after Long's early goal. And so the Bombers march on. They're 7-3, and the Crows have lost 4 matches in a row. It was 8-13 to 16-13 in the end.
Live and Kicking's Andrew Stutt and guests on Footy Plus. Also live in the studio, Matthew Robran with Porsche Cockatoo-Collins. And we analyse the Crows Essendon game 12 hours after it finishes on Footy Plus, midday Saturday on 7.
Here's a family who wants to enhance their outdoor living area and add value to their home with a new deck and garden. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
40-tooth blade, the more teeth on the blade, the finer the cut. So the tooth.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Oh, what's here?
As we journey into the 21st century, the search will continue for new horizons, new ways of thinking, new opportunities. Whether your challenges take you around the corner or around the globe, make sure you carry the right financial equipment for your future. Diners Club, your new card is here. With the massive power and torque of its big 4-litre V6 and new air pump shockers, the new Ford Explorer tames the toughest terrain. New Ford Explorer. The adventure begins at your Ford dealer.
Hey, Doll, what's this Kids Day?
It's when we go to our new homes. Huh? Kids Day will raise money for Australia's children. Toy stores will be giving 10% of every sale directly to kids' charities. I can't wait.
How can people get a message to you
A hospital?
when you're already on the phone?
No, really, Mum. I think the baby's coming. You call the hospital and I'll call Rob.
Yeah, it's not a call. I'll let it go through the message bank.
That's why you need Telstra Message Bank.
Hi, Rob. Busy?
Because Message Bank makes sure you get all your messages, even when the phone line is busy. See? Call 1-800-052-052 for Telstra Message Bank.
Right, I got a truck lost its load about 300 k's north of Dingo Whoop Whoop. Any takers? I reckon this one be just right for you, Johnny.
What am I looking for?
You can't miss it. Great big Farmers Union iced coffee truck.
It's a Farmers Union iced coffee, or it's nothing.
New Falcon S. distraction.
I hate the whole idea of surgery.
I hated it too the first 10 or 15 times.
All you've ever had removed were things that you swallowed, got stuck to, or sat on. But we got a problem here. She's going into shock.
A special home improvement Sunday.
Welcome back once again to Footy Park. It was 8-13 to 16-13. The Bombers won every quarter, and they really dominated this match, winning by 48 points. Blake Carousella was their star. He kicked 6 goals tonight and earned the 3 votes from Jason Duster. Look on the left, that was the problem. I think it was the first thing we said when we got here. Where are the Crows going to get their goals from?
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season, partly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. And the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
Jason, the ladder's going to be interesting. The Bombers' percentage was 115.1 and the Crows was 92.1 going in. Let's have a look. The Bombers are up to 119 and the Crows are down to 88.
You're looking pretty good, the Bombers, at 7-3. It's important to have that percentage because there will be a bit of a traffic jam with those top sides looking for or jockeying for spots in the top 4.
And a few of them meet on the weekend, the Lions and the Doggies and also the Cats and the Saints. That's the round for the rest of the weekend.
It's a big round. It's, you know, the table's really starting to take shape. Down at Shell Stadium, the Saints and the Cats. Richmond and Hawthorn. Hawthorn need to bounce back after 3 losses. The Lions and Bulldogs probably the match of the round. And on Sunday, you'd think the home sides win. Sydney over Collingwood, West Coast over Carlton, and the Kangaroos over Port Adelaide.
Shouldn't forget Sydney and Collingwood.
What
and if Plugger gets his record score, he'll be on
When?
live and kicking with you.
When, not
on
if.
Wednesday night. Yeah, he looks a certainty, doesn't he? We're really looking forward to that. 1,300 goals. Can you imagine it? You could. You were close. Name again. 1,800 035 665. I certainly can't. It's mind-boggling for me. And you know I love a stat. I don't reckon too many Crow supporters are going to buy that one tonight, do you?
I don't think so.
I'll see you in Sydney on Sunday.
Look forward to it.
Thanks for being with us, and I hope you can join us again next Friday night for Friday Night Footy.
This match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by AAMI, Cadbury, Mitre 10, Ultra Tune, and Sip and Save. Monday, you're sure things are going to get hot when Ally McBeal...
Who's the sick one?
Him.
Her.
...mixes it with Bruce Willis.
I'm speaking now.
A star-studded Ally. Tuesday, how long do you keep helping someone that doesn't want help?
Well, Luke, this is it.
All Saints. Then Wednesday, when Ben finds the truth, will it save her career?
I love you, Robin. I would do anything to make this go away.
You'll never guess how it ends on Adelaide's favourite Blue Healers, Wednesday on 7.
$25 per week.
$4,999.
$25 per week.
$4,999, and there's over 100 vehicles to choose from.
All stocks reduced. Pay even less with your trading.
Trade anything of value on a big car,
or little cars,
family car,
wagons,
sports cars, panel vans, utes,
four-wheel drives and 8-seater buses.
And warranties available on all vehicles and titles guaranteed.
$25 per week.
$4,999.
$25 per week.
Don't whine, pay $4,999, even less with your trade-in at the Hilton Motor Company, corner of South and Burbridge Roads. $4,999.
Ian Berry Insurance Brokers arrange all types of insurance for all types of businesses. If you're self-employed or run a large corporation, no business is too small or too big. Phone Ian Berry Insurance Brokers to arrange a competitive value-for-money quote on your insurance. Why don't you let a successful South Australian company look after your insurance and help your business grow?
How can people get a message to you
A hospital?
when you're already on the phone?
No, really, Mum. I think the baby's coming. You call the hospital, and I'll call Rob.
Yeah, it's another call. I'll let it go through the message bank. That's why you need Telstra Message Bank.
Hi, Rob. Busy?
Because Message Bank makes sure you get all your messages, even when the phone line is busy. See? Call 1-800-052-052 for Telstra Message Bank.
The
Footy Wars. What the 12th man did to cricket, the halfback flankers are doing to footy.
These cretins are taking the mickey out of everything and everyone.
This is Viles, 15.
Oh, no. Me, Rixie. We've got a lot of boring about Collingwood. Tenacity, perspicacity, and synchronicity.
Centimetre perfect.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Just another day in the commentary box, really? You'd be an idiot not to get a copy. There, can I go now?
Well, it was a rear-end shunt. I hit the tailgate and creased it quite badly. I had lots of work to get through. I had a new baby and I wanted to have time with the baby. I had a car with a ding in it, which I wasn't too happy about, and it was also a family car as well as a work car. So I rang up Amy. They made things very convenient for me. They took all the legwork out. Amy gave a lifetime guarantee on the work. No, I'm not sort of one to go into raptures about insurance companies, but Amy were really good. It was just so easy.